Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Pyre Community RITE NITE, which means, of course, some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. If you're interested in getting more involved in that stuff, Artemis Fowl has once again beaten me to the punch here. So there is the top one, that's the link there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook, no, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all of the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, talismans, songs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode here, and let's get this thing started. Is there anyone who would like to begin for the night? I hear Core is saying he's planning on breaking out some new meta strats. That is exciting. In the Flame. Ooh, okay. Hold on. That's a Tariq bot one, I do believe. That is a Tariq bot one, so we will summon Tariq bot, and let me, while I'm at it, hop into said Discord group as well. There we go. All right, I'm all in. I see Failure is here as well. Failure, do you want to get started tonight?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, let me just summon Tariq for us here. Let's see. And you know what? Maybe we proactively get some of this Bandcamp stuff set up and ready to go in anticipation of some future requests, but let's see. Tariq bots. That's not it. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Which game is this one from? This is Pyre, is it not? Is that Hades? Oh, Lids. That's not it. Wait a second, dear. It is Pyre. Tariq, why did you not recognize it then? Tariq, what the heck? Is it in the Flame singular or in the Flame plural? Tariq, why you do this to me? There we go. There we go. Okay, that's all set and ready to go. We have Failure in here to get things started. Actually, let me send in the Steam invite as well. Steam has been doing this weird thing for me. Or has it not been showing down on my my toolbar at the bottom? Let me. Also, by the way, Steam Summer Sale is live if anyone is interested. But let me send the invite here to Failure. Is there anyone else who'd like to jump in?
Yeah, I want to play.
All right. Get Core in here too, then. There we go.
We're gonna do a best of 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn down Tariq a little bit here. He's rocking just slightly too hard. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. There we are. All right, so let's see. Did anything happen? Not yet, other than apparently Core has claimed he has some new strats he wants to break out, and he wants to do it in a best 3 out of 5 against Failure. So that could mean we're in for some pretty dramatic stuff here right off the bat.
Well, we also want to experiment with some new, like, tournament, like, how the tournament would go. Best of 5 sets, basically. So, like, instead of, like, fully blind picks, we're gonna do, like, blind paired picks. So, like, we each choose one, and then we see what the other player did. And then we choose our second tile.
Okay.
So on.
I see.
Also, loser, I think random stage first, and then loser pick the next stage, or arena, and you can't pick one that you've already won on.
Okay, a little experimentation, I see. Predictions may be scuffed.
So you can pick one that you've lost on before as well. So if you want to pick boat 3 times in a row and lose, get swept, you're allowed to, as someone who's lost the previous game. You just can't pick if you won on that stage.
Mm-hmm. You can't just constantly have it on the same arena if you've proven that that is your arena of choice. Yeah, apparently Anor may be a winner of this one for reasons unknown to me. That's an odd one. Okay. Hold on a second, that wasn't right. Alright, let me just, in the meantime, verify who's in. Looks like Core's player 1, Failer's player 2, at least in theory. And will we be looking at Pyre Hearts and then Fate for Core and Failer respectively? Oh, not the reset button. The dreaded reset button. There we are. Okay. So I think we're all set here. So just to confirm. Yeah, and is that, in fact, Core who's player 1 and Failer player 2, or did Seaman Roleplay lie to me? Seaman Roleplay lied to me? Of course it did. Of course it did. Why wouldn't it lie to me? Okay, there we go. So yeah, it sounds like what we're going to do here is we're going to go best 3 out of 5 in a semi-tournament-like structure, except experimenting a little bit with how exactly that works, where rather than having what would usually be player 1 takes all their characters, player 2 takes all their characters, and locks them in before either player can see what they've chosen, both players will send their first and lock in their first setup for their first character, and then after that they can on their second character take some time to, if they'd like to, counterpick at least that first exile that they saw, and it's a little more incremental in that way. And then we said in terms of choosing the arenas, it was the winner gets to choose, is that right, for the next match? Loser gets to choose for the next one. Okay, so a little way for the loser to have a chance to make a little bit of a comeback more easily. Am I missing anything else in terms of things that we're trying to mix up a little bit in the interest of experimentation here? Is that just about it? That's it? Okay. Alright, in that case, I think we are ready to go. Do we have a third party that you are sending in your request to, or is that going to be me? Okay, gotcha.
Good luck, Baylor.
Yell at Jeff.
You are gathered to conduct this rite. May further shame befall whomever fails. The fates stand ready. High hearts stand ready.
Okay, so again, best 3 out of 5 here between Core and Failer. They will both send in their first exile, masteries and the talisman on that exile, into me to lock that in. And once they've done so, they're committed to that character, and once they select that, we'll do the same thing for the next exile, so on and so forth. So rather than what we did in the past, where it was you're locking in your entire team all at once, this time doing it 1 exile at a time, so a little bit more opportunity to adjust your team if they see fit. Alright, let me see. I may have gotten setups from both of them. Okay. Sailor is locked in, as is Core. Okay. You're good to go? So it was a Bright Wisp Almer in the first spot for Phaler, and it's an Aura Scale Gilman in the first spot for Core. So again, now they have a little bit of opportunity here. They might have, of course, initially had a plan in terms of what they wanted to do with their full-fledged team composition, but if they saw something with their opponent's first exile that they did not like, then they could make an adjustment here. That is the key difference. Okay, Phaler is locked in. And Core is as well. So that was a Titan Tooth, all left side on Gilman, so he'll stun anyone that he jumps into and has the extra damage from Seize Chance, and also can stun with Stunning Claim. 4 goes for a Super Portal Imp. Okay. So yeah, we'll see once again as to what extent the players choose to counterpick their opponent's team here, because they do have a little bit more opportunity to do that. Phaler has locked in. And Core has as well. Okay. So we're good to go here in that case. Be curious to hear, after this match is over, from the players, how much they did adjust in response to what they saw their opponent doing, or if they just had a plan from the beginning and stuck to it. Didn't feel like they needed to make any changes. And so for Core, it's Snadra with the additional Pyre Life. Phaler went with a second Worm. For Phaler, it is a pseudo Infiniworms, it seems. And he starts things off with Almer here, jumping in for 20. No prayer beads on him, though, so he's gone for this round, but it means that, functionally, for this round, he is Infiniworms. The Core's on the orb here with Gilman. The Titan Tooth will stun Core, giving Phaler a little bit of time to work with here, and, oh, wasn't quite quick enough there. Now Core's counter. That throw looks a little bit off target. Oh, but Core with a quick follow-up there, getting the rebound and plunging immediately. Phaler teleports the orb, but Almer's blocked. Banishes one, but then gets banished. Or this time with Snadra. Eyeing the portal, goes through. Brings back Messenger Imp as well. Snadra over to Messenger Imp. And, well, he's gone down right on top of Phaler's Pyre here. But Phaler has an opening, so he can walk this one in uncontested for 20. Once again, means no Almer in this round for Phaler, as he did not have prayer beads and he plunged. But it means all worms, so Infiniworms at that. Core's throw does sneak past for 15 here. Phaler teleports and actually banishes Gilman in the process. Snadra, ooh, clever play there. 4, unblockable throw, which is good for 15. Phaler again with the teleportation. This time loses Almer, though. Phaler with just Gilman back defensively. Core on the attack here. Stunning Claim from Phaler. Ooh, makes Almer the only exile capable of moving. Well timed from Phaler. Able to banish one of Core's exiles and slow down that attack, but not able to turn it into a scoring opportunity. Ooh, big jump there from Core. You could see that was likely the effect of that Aura Scale Legendary Worm Talisman, giving him the extra jumping distance. Messenger Imp banishes one. Oh, and there's a little bit of Bottled Void action. We actually did see Core take that on, I believe it was one of his imps. And there it was, in fact. Might have thrown Phaler off there. pulling him a little bit away from the orb and allowing Core to swoop in to pick it up and plunge for another 15. Core to Snadra. There's Phaler Stunning Flame, and has a brief moment with the only exile capable of moving, but Snadra still able to avoid the banishment there and actually shoulder smashes one of the defenders. The Phaler does have it back here, and sneaks through for 15 on that plunge. Almer. He's banished, but that leaves just Deluge, and so he gets infinite stamina for the time being. Stunning Flame. Oh, to set up Almer as the only exile capable of moving. However, actually, Core had someone coming back right around the same time as well. For opportunity here. No one back to stop him. It's time for a 15 damage throw. And that drops Phaler to below 15, which means Core, with any of his exiles, is capable of finishing this with one more score. Titan Tooth stuns Core, though. Core has it back. And there is that big aura scale jump for the winning plunge. Match number 1 goes to Core. GG. Alright, so again, doing a little bit of a pseudo tournament setup here, or at least experimenting a bit with the format that we've used in the past. Best 3 out of 5 here, as has been the case in the past, but Core has taken match number 1. And we said that the loser of the match will choose the arena for the next one, so that means, Phaler, you get to pick where you'd like to be for this next one.
With Folosolium.
Folosolium, okay, we're going big here. We are going big. Alright, we did have a song as well. Let me double check. I think it was from Anor. Was it Remember? Wait, what? Remember the Bastion? Oh, okay. I couldn't tell what of that was Anor telling me to remember something and what was actually the name of the song. But Remember the Bastion is the name of the song. Okay, got you. I think that's the next one. Don't think anyone else snuck one in between? Okay. Let's go back to Tariqbot. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Coming up clutch as well. What an absolute pro. Well, Tariqbot, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to ask you to play something else here. So I have to actually tell Tariqbot to play that song is usually the way that works. Oh, wait, is this the... Hold on. No, this is it. Okay. Okay, now Tariqbot, you were rocking too hard last time. This time you're not rocking hard enough. Okay, now we should be doing okay. Okay. So, Phaler says Folosolium. Other than that, I think we should be good here. We'll turn Sermon Intro off. But, once again, we'll have best 3 out of 5 here between Phaler and Core. Core won match number 1. Players will lock in exiles individually, one at a time, which allows for a little more counterpicking than we would usually see in our tournament formats. Tariqbot, you're not rocking hard enough right now. Come on, Tariqbot. You need to rock harder, man. Okay, so once players have sent in their teams, they will be locked in. And we may have both of them in here. Phaler is set and ready to go, and Core is as well. Okay, perfect. Whenever you're ready, Phaler. Phaler led off with Almer last time, and he does so this time as well. A little bit of a different setup here. This time he's going with the Banishing Throws. And very different setup from Core. He's going with a Speedy Crone. We did not see any Crones from either player last time around. That's what I was saying. I think the key question here is when it comes to the tests that we're doing, changing up the format a little bit for locking in characters. To what extent are people actually adjusting their teams when they see what their opponent goes with? Curious to see. Baylor is locked in. He's ready to go. I mean, I suppose if people lock it immediately, you can probably say with a fair bit of confidence that, well, you know, they probably knew what they wanted to do and nothing that they saw from their opponent has changed that. But maybe if there's a little more hesitation, there's more consideration of, well, you see, yes, but maybe. Maybe I do want to mix something up ever so slightly. Okay, and Core is also locked in. Alright, so you're good to go whenever you're ready, Phaler? Speedy Crone, I choose you! Alright, for Raji, Web Lanthorn in the second spot. For Phaler. For Core, it's Gildan. And with Aura's Scale, that might be the same thing we saw Core take with his second exile in the previous match. Alright, let's take a look here. Core has locked in. And Phaler has locked in as well. Okay, we are ready here. Looks like it might be double Crone action. Like I said, did not see any Crones last time. But both players going that route this time round. Then for Core, back with Snadra, back with the additional starting Pyre Life. Alright, match 2 in this best 3 out of 5 series between Phaler and Core, as we were saying. Core won match number 1, but here's Phaler getting things started with a 30 damage throw from Birchroot. We did see Core take the additional starting Pyre Life with his Talisman on Snadra, so even after that score, Core still standing at 100 Pyre Life here. Phaler able to stop that attack from Core. Has the orb back here. Going on the attack with Ulmer now. This time has the banishing throws with Ulmer. Clears out one defender that way. But it's Core on the counter. Phaler snuffs it out. Has a portal if we'd like to use it. Perhaps looking for it, but decides, maybe not needed. Ooh, look at that. Quick, unblockable throw. It lands for 25 this time, as they're both tied up at 100 Pyre Life piece, and therefore not getting the extra 5 damage on one of the Crone Masteries. Ulmer. Trying to get the banishment on the throw, but not that time round. Core now. Gilman is stopped. Snadra also stopped. Phaler. Oh, was looking for the throw. He got it off, I think. But it was not enough power on it to make it all the way to the Pyre. So now it's Core. He's banished. Phaler has it back here. Ulmer. Banishes one defender, and there aren't very many people back here to stop Ulmer. So he teleports the orb and hops on in here for 20. Means no Ulmer for this round for Phaler, as he did not have prayer beads, but that won't last long, because Core plunges here for 30 with his Crone. Phaler teleports. Tries to jump in, but gets blocked. Banishes one defender, though, and then hops in for 20 on the second effort. And look at that. Phaler's Crone Salute transforms all of Core's Exiles into defenseless Howlers, giving what is more or less an automatic score here for 30, dropping Core down to just 5 Pyre Life. Next score for Phaler, likely all he needs, but here comes Core once again, dropping Phaler down to 40. Ulmer teleports. Anything will do for Phaler, but Ulmer gets stopped. 4 with Snadra. Snadra down, but he brings her back quickly. Gilman now. Probing. Throw is short and wide. Ulmer has a bit of an opening here, and that's all it'll take. Phaler wins match number 2. And that means we're all tied up at 1 apiece here. in this best 3 out of 5 matchup between Phaler and Core. So let's head on back. Let us know, chat, if there are any songs you want for this one, but otherwise, we're going to be looking at Core choosing the arena for this one. He's not allowed to choose the arena in which he won, which was the Pit of Malith. So that much we know will not happen, but outside of that, it's up to Core.
I'll choose book.
Choose book, okay. There we go. Book it is. Any songs? Night Howlers. Night Howlers it is, okay. Let me break this one out. There it is. Okay, sorry, Treekbot. But you're gonna need to stop playing this song. And instead, do that. Oh, that's the acoustic one. Did we want the acoustic one? Suppose you didn't specifically say you wanted the acoustic one, so let me give you the normal one then. One sec. I mean, unless that's preferable. Do you acoustic works? Or was that it, I guess? That yes could have been yes acoustic, or that yes could have been yes I wanted the original? You didn't say acoustic, so I'm going to assume, unless you further specify, that you had intended for the normal version. Let's see. Here's Pyre. Here's the original. Okay. No, acoustic works? Okay, sure, we can keep acoustic then. That's fine. Alright, in that case, we are good to go here. Okay, so, let's get this one started. This will be match number 3 between this best 3 out of 5 series with Core and Phaler. Currently tied up at 1 apiece. So this will be the momentum swinger, perhaps, at the book. Okay, so both players will lock in their first exiles. Once they've done so, we will start the selection process. And I believe we might be ready already. Core has locked in, as has Phaler. Okay, so whenever you're ready, Phaler. For Phaler, it is a Titan Tooth all left side Pamantha, so she has the Heart Salute, that means. She can switch places with her closest ally. And is particularly speedy. Whereas Core going the Banishing Throws route there with Barker. Haven't seen much in the way of Curs yet today, although they are a much more popular choice on the book specifically. So we'll see if anyone has any adjustments after what may have been a little bit of an unexpected selection there. Possibly even on both sides. Phaler's all locked in. He's good to go. Of course, Phaler is the one that we've seen many times before go triple Cur in the book, but then again, it's Core who took the Cur in the first spot, not Phaler. So perhaps a little bit of a surprise there. Perhaps might have caught each other off guard a little bit here. And hold on, let me just verify. I believe, yes, Core has just now locked in. All right, there you go. Whenever you're ready, Phaler. He's going Web Lanthorn on Raji. Whereas Core going back to the Crones here. Taking the Crone Salute. And go with, I believe that was some Leech we saw him take on the Talisman spot there. So yeah, not the exile selections I was expecting to see from either player here, I don't think. So that might be forcing both players to adjust what they had originally planned a little bit. Either that or they say, no, I'm sticking to my guns here. I had a plan, and I will stick to said plan. Okay, Phaler is all locked in. And now Core is as well. Whenever you're ready, Phaler. So for Phaler, he will also be using a Crone. Similar masteries, but he's going for the quick throwing talisman rather than the leech that we saw Core take. And Core, he'll be going for Webbed Lanthorn on Messenger Imp. So here we go. Currently tied 1 apiece on this best 3 out of 5 series between Phaler and Core. So we'll see who can take the lead here. Look at that! Core with the little fake. Pretends to throw it as if he's trying to score, and then catches his own throw and falls it in for the plunge. Well, Phaler says, enough of that nonsense. I'm going to plunge as well for 20. That means we're tied up at 80 apiece here. Remember, both players capable of going for the Crone Salute to set up a big score. But the Crones deal a little less damage when everyone is tied up, although, actually, Core gets a little bit of leech from that one. So 25 rather than the usual 30 damage that you see, but it does get Core back up to 93 Pyre life. There's Phaler's stun. Lots of Titan Tooth happening here. Phaler switches out and has a bit of an opening. Enough to squeeze in a 13 damage throw. Oh man, are we tied back up now? No, because Core also had another plunge, but now Phaler plunges once again. And that does make it nearly neck and neck here. Phaler back on the orb, just barely avoids the banishment there, and hops in with his Crone for 30, and that means Phaler has taken the lead now. And after dropping Core down to 30 Pyre life means at least his Crone is capable of finishing this one score, but his Crone is now banished after plunging without prayer beads, so that can't happen in this round at least. And perhaps Core feels like he's in need of a sure thing here, goes for that Crone Salute for the automatic 30 damage score, and with the leech, now means Phaler needs a couple of scores, but there's one of them. So that means Phaler just needs one more once again, and Phaler now, with his Crone Salute. Core, oh look at that, but he's still able to explode with his Howler in Imp in Howler form. It slows Phaler down, and now suddenly Core is able to defend. And what initially looked like it was an automatic score is not. It's actually Core scoring here, and dropping Phaler down to 5. Both players capable of finishing this with one score. For Phaler, it does need to be his Crone. Anyone else would not have the damage to do so. Oh, the fake from Core! But Phaler able to recover in time. Phaler really wants his Crone here. But down she goes. Oh, and an opening for Core! Which he seizes to take the winning plunge. GG. Core wins match number 2. Or match number 3, and takes the 2-1 lead in the series. And that means one more win is all that Core needs here. Phaler would need to go 2-0 from here on out. The epic fakeouts indeed. Alright, so that means that Phaler, it is up to you to choose your arena. You won at Fall? Is that right? So you can't take that? But other than that...
Boat.
Boat, you said?
Yep.
Ooh, a bold strategy, Cotton, but we'll see if it pays off for him. We will see if it pays off for him. Okay, let us know, chat, if there are any songs you want to hear for this one. What could be the deciding match in this series? If Core is to win it, he would take the series. Phaler needs to go 2-0 from here on out. If not... Ooh, the Black Wagon. Okay. Hold on. Good timing. No, but I'm not ready to tell Tariqbot to leave. No, Tariqbot! I wasn't ready. Tariqbot. Enough of that nonsense. Okay, 1 second. Let me get Black Wagon here. Let's see. Black Wagon. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Alright, so it'll be on the boat. As we said, it is a best 3 out of 5 series. Core currently leads 2-1, so that means that if he is to win this one, he takes the series. Pyre needs to go 2-0 if he is to win. Let's begin.
The fate shall confront the Pyres.
Alright, so we will see what the players have planned here on the boat. Both players already locked in, ready to go. Pyre and Core as well, it seems. Okay. Duly noted. Duly noted. Let's head on back then. Pyre, whenever you're ready. And we've not seen much in the way of prayer beads thus far. But Pyre will change that here with his crone. Core started to take the wrong harp. Yes, he did tell me Zoxiana specifically. With Luminous Idol, so he'll get full stamina when he picks the orb up with her. And she also, full left side, means she can switch places with her closest ally when she salutes. So, of course, we've seen several meme setups on the boat with a demon-centric team, but as this is more of a competitive match, that may not necessarily be the direction that players are looking to go in here. We'll have to see. Okay, both players still scheming. So yeah, I think more unpredictable for that reason, and might be a little bit harder for players to counter-pick. Okay, but I think... Let's see, Pyre is ready. Core is ready as well. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Pyre. And speaking of demons, that is the direction that Pyre will go in here with Ignarius. It's a bold strategy. It is a little bit difficult. High risk, high reward, yet potentially get the huge leaps over the puddles. But it is a gamble. You never quite know how much airtime you're going to get. As Core goes for, I believe that was once again a Leeching Crone. Okay, and let's see. They may have already locked in their last exiles here. Core's ready. And Pyre's ready as well. Yes, they are good to go here. And yes, indeed, look at this. Pyre doubling down on the demons. Titan Tooth on Orlek, and of course Orlek, even more of a high-risk, high-reward character, as if he does not have a way to get back from Pension, you're going to have to wait 30 seconds for him to return in his normal, organic way. Whereas Core goes plain and simple, the staple, Webbed Lanthorn Imp. But here we go. Core on the orb here. Pyre up to the task defensively, though. Crone versus Crone. Pyre blocks, and with Titan Tooth can stun as well. Oh, but down goes Orlek. That is not a sight that Pyre likes to see. And he's defenseless here for the next few seconds, but Iggy does return just in time. Core does have a portal very close to Pyre's Pyre. Ooh, but down goes Ignarius, and that means Pyre's going to have to wait a little while here. He does have a lot of exiles with low hope here, so it will take a long time for them to respawn. Although Pyre with the early Crone salute here for a quick free score. Is that off target? That is off target. Oh dear. Pyre, this time at least he can still get the score here on Ignarius for 30. Probably would have preferred the Crone throw, as that would have meant that he doesn't need to lose a character for the next round, as that might have made it a little bit easier for Core to make his way through here on the 30 damage Crone plunge. So you just never like to see those valuable Crone salutes missing the mark. So you can only do them once, of course, over the course of the entire match. Core. Pyre, there is the big jump he's looking for, and there is the big slam dunk. 25, that's Orlek, that means. He's gone for this round. Pyre sidesteps the cast, but it's Core still on the orb here. That throw is unblockable, but it looks short. And Core passes it to himself over the defender, loops around the other way, and follows it in for the plunge. Phaler now. Trying to get close enough for the unblockable Crone throw. But Core was not going to let that happen. Big jump from Phaler. Titan Tooth. But still stopped. Oh, big Imp jumps there. Phaler has it back, though. Pinned in the corner. But nearly found a way to elude the defenders with Bertrude. Not quite, though. Core eyeing the portal. Phaler has it blocked. The Core follows up to banish that defender. And has time here for a 20 damage throw from his harp. Core first the orb, but Phaler blocks him. Then Core turns around and banishes Phaler. Oh, and look at that. Big plunge from Core. 30 damage there. And that drops Phaler down to 30 Pyre life. Meaning next score, if it is from a Crone, maybe all that Core needs. But here's a harp plunge for 20. And now that means any character on Core's side has enough damage to finish the job. There's the Crone salute, and there is the winning plunge. Core takes the series.
Good games.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
Alright, well played, you two, and that's a little bit of experimentation with the tournament format, as usually we would have players lock in their entire teams all at once, whereas this time we went one by one, giving them a little more chance to counterpick their opponents. And for that reason, I'd be curious to hear from you guys to what extent you felt like that changed the dynamic of that match there, that series.
I think it was especially helpful in the first game, mostly for me. Just because I feel like I wouldn't have won that.
Yeah, how much did you guys actually change your team when you saw what your opponent was taking? Or was it almost always just, okay, I mean, nice to know, but I'm not actually going to alter anything?
The first game, definitely for me, I changed a lot, all of it. Basically,
Okay.
After the first one, of course.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. There were times when I would pick. I was more like I was leaning towards something, and then it made sure that I was going to do that because of like the first pick. Like,
You had a couple of options you were considering, and it was just a matter of which one seemed like it would be a better fit.
Like for book, the Imp, I think the third pick Imp was good for me. After he showed Harp and Crone, I wanted Imp, and I was thinking about Imp, but that just completed it.
Interesting. Okay. So that's a little experimentation there. A modification on what would usually be our tournament format, but maybe that is something that's worth holding on to and using with our next tournament. Or maybe we stick with our tried and true formula if that feels like that's still preferable. But a little bit of scientific experimentation. Alright, and I think, let me just double check here. Yeah, Phaler has hopped out. So I think that means we're looking for at least one more here to get in on the action. Now, Core, are you good to stick around? Do you want to swap out as well? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good to stick around.
Okay. So yeah, that means we're looking for one more here to hop in against Core. Is there anyone who would like to do so? And I think we're, at this point, just talking about a usual RITE NITE casual format and none of this best 3 out of 5 stuff. So, no worries there. Don't worry, there aren't any stakes.
Let the no customize requests commence.
That's true. We were basically just going with the arenas. Well, actually, you guys were picking the arenas and the songs last time, and now you have the chance to go with whatever you'd like. What's up, Jeddah? How's it going? How are you? We are doing some Pyre. Some basically like magic fantasy basketball with books, because that is a totally logical combination of things. True, we should probably change back our map to random. Good call. Good call. Core is just waiting for you guys, chat, to turn customize off. He is just waiting for the opportunity to do it. But perhaps more importantly, the question is there anyone who'd like to hop in to face off against Core here? Oh, we should also probably put Core back on controller. You youngsters with your Digimons. Okay, we have had Customize turned off. That much is confirmed. Randomize Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans, that means. Won't even get to see what they are in advance, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. You're welcome. Well, we still need someone to face off against Core, though. I mean, certainly early days here, and many regulars in chat who have not yet gotten the chance to participate, so if anyone is particularly interested and available, then let us know, and we can definitely get you in now. I mean, unless we're having Core go against a level 5 CPU here, and gonna have Customize turned off and say, Core, just go for it. Yeah, Phaler jumped out. Yeah, Phaler has left, so Nor, if you want to jump in, we could get you in here, if you'd like. There is a spot. There is indeed a spot, and no one has yet volunteered. Core scared them off with his proposed Customize off, and now Customize off has been thrown out there. And Core is in everyone's head. He's psyched out any potential opponent. Nora says, alright, well then let me try. Okay then, let's get a Nora in here. Let's get a Nora in here, in that case. Invite is sent. Do we want to switch up teams here if we want to have colors that are a little more different than the Nightwings and the Pyre Hearts? Is that of interest? Let me, at the very least, enter in Anora's name here. So yeah, are we still thinking Nightwings, Pyre Hearts, or do we want to make an adjustment there to make the colors a little more easily distinguishable? And we'll go Beyonders. Okay. That we can certainly do. Also controls, did it not even give them to you? I mean, we could certainly at least double check, because I don't remember if there's if we had someone else going on mouse keyboard before. So, might need to make adjustments, but, okay, remote play. Did you give Anor controls? You did not. Okay, you have controls now. Let's just do a quick double check here as well, because I don't remember if this is the right setup for you. It is? Okay, great. Grand Ceremony. Grand Ceremony will be the song. Okay. And in that case, I think we are probably ready to go, because that covers just about everything here, as Customize has been turned off. We have the song, only other thing would be an arena. But in the absence of such a request, I believe we will commence. You know, we're just throwing Nora straight in here, right? You know, just why not go straight into a Customize off match for her? Who needs a warm-up, right? What is this warm-up of which you speak? I've never heard of it. It's Glade of Lu. For Nora, it is Imp, Cur, Sap. For Core, it is Nomad, Demon, Crone.
I'm player 1.
Are both people player 1? Question mark? Anor, are you also controlling the Beyonders here? Yep.
Both player 1. Okay.
Oh no. So okay, that means that whoever scores first here. No. Here. Let's just do some remote play restructuring here. Or that's weird. Remote play says Core is player 2. Oh right, but remote play lied to us before. It said Core was player 2, but he was actually player 1. Or was that No, that was Phaler earlier. Remote play doesn't know the difference between numbers 1 and 2 is what we are learning. So, Core, if you don't mind, can you try unplugging and replugging your controller here? I think that might be our best quick answer here, potentially. Okay. Now, let's double check. Well, oh, no, it didn't crash. There we go. Verification. Looks like we're good here, assuming that is Anor who's on Beyonders and Core who is now on the Pyre Hearts and not the other way around. Okay, would you like me to count you guys down? Or just gonna try to throw the orb back in the middle? Look, everything is as it was at the beginning, okay? Nothing has happened here. Clearly, this is the normal start of a match. Clearly, this is an absolutely normal start of a match. So would you like me to, here, I'll put you guys on the pause screen. I'll give you the 3, 2, 1, go. And then on go, we'll hit resume. Anora has already figured out that she has a Black Claw Imp. Now she knows a little bit more about her team. But okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Anora blocked and banished here. Is it just me, or is that a slightly speedier sap than usual? Not entirely sure. But Anora does get the banishment with Manly. Of course, she is very experienced when it comes to the sap plays. Everyone on the core side banished here. Is Anora quick enough? Just barely. Does have the first mastery on the right side on her curse. That means 5 extra damage for a total of 20. Shoulder smash there on Headwind. That's a left side ability for him. So might have critical strikes as well. Might have a little bit of leech. There's an unblockable throw from Core for 19. Not quite the full damage. And gets us just about tied here. Ooh, that is a long-range snipe. It was a power cast, but not sure if Anora has any other casting abilities with her Kerr, because we've established she at least has 1 mastery on the right side, and that is the more casting side of the Kerr tree. But here's Anora plunging for 15 with her Imp. No lightning run, it might be a primarily, if not entirely, right side Kerr here for Anora. We've seen the explosions. Luminous Idol, who was that on? That might have been on Barker there. I think it was. Barker retreats, but he's getting cornered here, nor with nowhere left to go. Numbing Gust on Manly, that means. Oh, and the last second block as well. Okay. So that means if everyone is banished on Anora's side, Core is unable to sprint, jump, throw, use any other special abilities. There is the confirmation. Luminous Idol on Barker means whenever he picks up the orb, he will get all of his stamina back. Which is something we tend to see most often used on Harps, but you know, I guess it's not out of the question to get some value out of that on a Kerr. But Anora defenseless here. That's a combination of Numbing Gust and the Sapling almost enough to slow Core down and allow Anora to get a defender back, but not quite enough to stop the score. Jody. She's down. Anora, that Luminous Idol, oh, and sneaks through the portal, but needs some stamina here. And runs out and cannot sprint her way all the way to the opposing Pyre. But once again, through the portal she goes. Core with another defender back, though. Anora perhaps, yes, just looking to move that portal a little bit closer, though. Look out. Core has it covered, though, except the extra jumps from Anora to try to avoid the instant banishment. But Core blocks, and Core counters, and plunges for 30. And Core does have ways to get 30 damage if he is to plunge with Jody. But even if that were to happen, Anora would still be holding on with 1 Pyre life. We know she has Numbing Gust, which is all the way down on the left side, the opposite side from the Rekindling, so it's possible that she has 10, but that would be the maximum Rekindling that Anora could possibly have. Look at that nifty little Imp Salute to turn into Howler to more easily sidestep the defender. It's a nifty trick. Ooh, but 2 exiles going down quickly there for Anora. That is not a sight she wants to see. Shoulder Smash gets rid of the defender. Headwind once again getting rid of those defenders, but he eventually does get banished. Anora with Manly. Oh, and that portal does not take her far. I think at one point in time she had set up a pretty dangerous one, but it got reset there. Down goes her Imp, and it makes that portal a little bit stronger, but it's Core back on the attack here. Manly sidesteps the cast and takes out Headwind. Jody versus Manly. But Anora, actually her most mobile character, at least. Oh no, Barker's still her most mobile character, although don't underestimate the speed on those Howlers. Well done there to cut off Headwind. Luminous Idol does give the stamina back for Barker. That burst of stamina might have given Anora the speed she needed to make an attack with Barker, but opts not to do so, and suddenly now it's Core on the attack in an advanced position here with Jody. Anora trying to build a little bit of a wall here between the Sapling and that large Imp aura, but she intercepts the throw, and look at that portal play. Oh, but Core was up to the task And I mean, the portal does stay in a dangerous spot and moves about an inch closer to Kor's Pyre. Kor with a little song and dance here, trying to avoid banishment, but Headwind does eventually go down. Jody, back on the orb, knocks back the defender. And now moving into an attacking position. I think deliberately trying to knock back the defenders before she makes her move toward the Pyre. But Aurora able to stop Jody. Still has the portal, and it's open. Setting up this 15 damage throw. Headwind's cast bounces back off the sapling, but does not turn around and banish any of Kor's characters. And in fact, gets rid of all of Anore's characters. Now does Kor try to wait until he can throw it once Numbing Gust is over? No, he goes in for the plunge. That drops Anore down to 11, which means at this point, any character from Kor has enough damage unless Anore does have 10 rekindling on Manly, which is possible. That is the maximum she could have from Manly. I mean, there's a chance she has a RITE Light, a rekindling talisman, which could give her 20 more. So that is unlikely, as we know she has Luminous Idol on Barker at the very least. Sets up the sapling. And here comes Barker. Big cast from Kor. Down goes Barker. Down goes Manly as well. The Messenger Imp returns. Through the portal he goes. And maybe just trying to move that portal a little bit closer to Kor's Pyre so she can make a more fruitful escape. But down goes Barker before he can make it to that portal, and Kor is back on the attack once again. That throw is unblockable, but Nora able to shut it down before Kor got it off. Once again, the portal moved here. Not very dangerous anymore. But Kor defenseless for the next half second. Until Bertrude returns. Here she is, though. Gets rid of Barker. Manly. Waiting for the right opportunity. Whoa, aggressive move there from Bertrude. Manly trying to shut down Jody, but no, Jody instead bulldozes her way through here. And makes it in for the winning plunge, except no, there is the 10 rekindling as we anticipated we might see. It is exactly 10. The first mastery on the right side of Palmas' tree. So Nora holds on here with her second life bar. But now, for certain, next score from Kor would do the trick, so Nora's running out of time here. Gets rid of the defender, though. Oh, but maybe had a split second there to make her move. Hesitated. And now Kor has the defender back. Headwind causes some trouble. Back on the orb here. He shoulder smashes the defender, but he still has it. Blocked once again. And down he goes. Very close call there for Anore. But now it's Kor who's defenseless. Anore, trying to set up a dangerous portal here. It's not quite directly on top of Kor's Pyre, but it is close. Will that be enough to set up an Anore score here? Or will it fall just short? And that is the portal getting moved there. Nowhere near as dangerous as it once was. Kor moving in. Down goes Barker. Messenger Imp returns, though. Headwind. Anore gets the orb back, but gets shoulder smashed by Headwind. Headwind gets banished by the sapling. Orb reclaimed by Nora. A little bit of time here. Bertrude returns just in time to stop Palmas, though, or rather, Manly before he can make it in. Headwind. To Bertrude. Back to Headwind. Who will it be? Headwind shoulder smashes one defender. Unblockable throw. Will seal the deal. GG. Man, at the end there, defensive showdown.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played.
Until the stars
What's with the tone?
align.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Tone?
Oh, to Kor.
I don't understand. What tone? I had a tone? I had fun. It was fun.
Sounded annoyed.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Alright, well, let's turn Customize back on here. Unless, of course, that's something that we want to see again. In which case, let us know. And Anore says, well, say no more, Lids. Customize off, once again, pretty pleased. That can be arranged. Okay. So, we'll reset our song as well, unless there is one that we would like to see or hear here for this one. Or an arena, for that matter, as those are the two things that are still available, as Customize Off will, of course, randomize Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans, but not Arena, and not Song. Never to return Temper's version. I feel like that's one that we rarely hear. Okay. For whatever reason. So that leaves just Arena, if there's anything that we'd like to see there. Is there a specific location we would like for this rite to take place in? Or will anything do? Looks like anything will do. So why don't we get started here? And it sounds like it's the book. And for Anor, it is 2 worms and a demon.
It's double worm.
For Kor, it is Gareth the Savage, Snadra the Nomad, and was that a worm in the last spot as well? It was. 4 got things started with a 20 damage plunge from Gareth. He's out for this round, so no prayer beads him. Black Hoof, there always has to be Black Hoof, doesn't there? Doesn't there? It's Anor this time with it, though. And Kor plunges with his worm for 15. That means now Lady River is out for this round. Gareth back on it. He's banished. Opening here for Anor. With an unblockable throw. Oh, cuts it a little bit short there for 12 rather than the full 15. Jody. Ooh, knocks back Kor big time. But that is the Black Hoof character. So Anor cannot pick up the orb with Jody. Purely a defensive character in that case. The throw, does it have enough on it? It looks like it is just short. 4, hops in. 20 damage once again, this time with Gareth. Down goes Gilman for Anor. Lady River for Kor. And the throw lands for 12, and Anor does have Brazen Manor on a character that cannot pick up the orb. That is painful. But alas, that is Customized Off for you. Oh, and Gareth stopped just short of the Pyre there. Jody can't pick up the orb, but she can defend and banishes a few of Kor's exiles there. Does mean that just about 100% of Anor's offense is going to need to come from worms. The downside of that...
The demon has Celestial Spike, so when he drops the orb, it explodes.
That's an interesting combination there. Black Hoof, Brazen Manor, Celestial Spike. You don't see that every day. It would be a possible Infiniworms team if somehow Anor could score with Jody. It is technically possible, but it would require that Jody stand on top of the Pyre and then receive a pass. And that is the only way. And that is far easier said than done. Anor goes for the throw this time with one of her worms for 15. Yeah, those worms, at best, at 15 damage apiece, unless she banishes someone and has Siege chance, in which case it could be 25. Interception there from Anor. Kor. Oh, knocked halfway across the arena there. Snap her down as well. And Anor, not sure if that was technically Jody or the Celestial Spike orb bouncing up and down that did the banishing. But banishment was had. Here is Anor now. Lady River waits to get Gilman back, then makes the move with him. Sneaks around the back side, and the throw is slightly short. Kor, quick counter. But not this time. Kor, of course, just needs one score here. From any of his exiles would like to do the trick, but there is the double valiant. Is that double valiant return? No, that's not possible. That's not a thing. But there is the winning plunge. So Kor will take the victory.
Good game.
GG. Celestial Spike, Black Hoof, Brazen Manor Demon. That'd be Core's dream team. That'd be my dream team. Double Valiant return?
Till the next rite.
Oh, did it have a order skill? Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Didn't notice.
Alright, well, chat, let us know. No, not nice. The Jody was painful. Jody was painful. But let us know, chat, if there's anything that you'd like to see for the next one. None of them had Stunning Claim.
Come on, worms are capable. You could have done it. The Web Lanthorn, not Web Lanthorn, Webbed Feet was actually really good against worms. In the first line.
Made a noticeable difference.
Yeah, I mean, she probably could have jumped at it if she had Aura's skill, but it definitely caught up to her a bunch.
She still had frames.
What do you mean?
Couldn't jump.
Oh, because you jumped into it, that's why. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe if you just didn't jump and you waited.
Alright, well, let's reset ourselves to our defaults at the very least. Unless there's something else that we'd like to see or hear. And we've not yet had a Nor in a match in which players are allowed to take whatever they'd like. So maybe we give a Nor the chance to do that. Or, you know, maybe we just do non-stop chaos, which is also an option. Yeah, we should turn customize back on unless somebody would like to turn customize back off, or someone could test Nora's luck again. That is also an option. It can be done. It can be done. Though not seeing anyone or thing here to suggest that is going to happen. Fun for everyone, but apparently Nora. Alright, in that case, let's get this one started. We'll have these two take whatever they want to take. We'll give Nora a chance to, you know, not have a Cursed Talisman on half of her team.
The Beyonders shall take on the Pyre Hearts. Welcome.
Alright, so entirely up to you guys here. Whatever you'd like to take, you may take. Cow says your luck is terrible, so I don't advise you to play Armello. It was fine. It was fine. Maybe it's just a Pyre thing. Nor started out with a Stowaway. Core started out with Barker. So Savage versus Kerr in the front spot. And it's Webbed Lanthorn on Jody. Little unusual there, as that is most often, of course, taken on Imps. Oh, and Core goes with a Speedy Imp there. That's definitely a rarity. Anor all left side Titan Tooth Harp, so she can use that Harp's loot to switch places with her closest ally, and will stun anyone that she flies into. And there's the Webland Thorn Imp from Core. Alright, so here we go. Anor teleports the orb, but loses both Pamitha and the Stowaway, and now Jody as well, so she's defenseless for the time being, giving Core the chance to plunge here for 20 with his Cur. No prayer beads though on Barker, so that means Core is down to just imps in this round. Anor, Pamitha, blocked, but the Titan Tooth triggers here. Stunning Core, giving Anor a little bit of time to work with here. Switches into the Stowaway, but she doesn't quite have enough time to get the throw off. Now here's Jody, trying to knock back those defenders, but the timing isn't quite right to make that happen, so Core vanishes and gets the orb back. A snipe there from the Stowaway, but that explosion was just humongous. Still taking her out. Oh, and Core faked the throw, then went up and tried to go for the plunge instead. That portal is right next to Anor's Pyre, but it won't matter here, because Anor has the chance to throw in for an uncontested 20, and that will reset Core's portal. Anor with a quick 20 damage plunge here. Tizo. Barker vanishes, and that clears out some room for this 20 damage plunge for Core. Quick banishment as the teleportation gets followed soon thereafter by banishment, and Anor tries to use the Harp's loot to switch places with a teammate, but there were no teammates who were unbanished at the time, but still has enough time to make it in for the plunge. That means no Pamitha for Anor in this round now. Here's Core on the attack. Perhaps waiting for some reinforcements? No! Just waiting for the right moment to go through that portal. And that is the speedy imp right there. Perhaps that extra burst of speed from Tailwind Crest might have made the difference between having enough time to score there and not. We will not speak of how Anor was able to make it into the Pyre that time. Stowaway down. Pamitha gone for the entirety of this round after plunging. And with no Jody, that leaves Anor defenseless, but the orb inadvertently hits her Pyre and bounces out, giving the Stowaway time to teleport to that orb. But once again, Anor still defenseless here. So Core with time opts for the 15 damage throw. Stowaway teleports, but goes down. Pamitha blocked, but Titan Tooth stuns, except Core switches out of it. And Anor defenseless here, so once again, time for an uncontested Core throw for 15. Stowaway teleports, banishes one of Core's defenders, but down goes the Stowaway, automatically passes the orb to Pamitha. She stuns the defender, and Anor looks to switch in, but Jody gets banished. Now the Stowaway returns, but she gets banished, automatically passes the orb with her Bright Wisp, and so now it's Pamitha once again. Can't fake out the defender, so she's blocked and banished. Shooting Star, was that a double banishment, or banishment from the throw and then soon thereafter by the cast? Stowaway gets the orb, but goes down. Pamitha hops over to the defender and in for the winning plunge. GG.
And such a well-conducted victory it was. The ceremony is complete.
Well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see or hear for the next one. Yeah, interesting Cur setup, right? Snake Soul Acoustic. Okay, hold on. I think I have the means. What I mean to say is I've seized the means of production. I've seized the means of production. And so now I can create an acoustic Snake Soul out of thin air. Is the way that that works. Functionally speaking. I don't know if I've heard the acoustic version of this one before. It sounds kind of silly. Okay, let's turn off the in-game music as well. Okay. And we follow Solium as well. Okay, so we have our song, we have our arena. Is there anything else that we would like? Also, Nor, is that supposed to be a crone? I can kind of see it. The cursed arms. It could be. Maybe that wasn't the intention, but you know what? We can roll with it. Why not? Exactly. Alright. At the moment, it's looking like just arena and song. So why don't we get it started then? So it will be Fall of Solium, one of the biggest arenas. What is that moon blushed all about? Alright, so you're welcome to take whatever you'd like here. And I'm not sure we've seen Anor use the nutrition stick on a sap yet today. That is, of course, one of her go-tos. Alright, did Lids remember to loop this song? We're about to find out. He did. Well done, Lids. Thanks, Lids. You're welcome, Lids. Lids, did you just congratulate and welcome yourself and give yourself a high five? Maybe. Alright, in the meantime, more importantly, Anor goes with a Tizo in the second spot there. Core after taking a Kerr in the front spot. Barker once again here. We'll now go for a Leeching Crone. Anor, after Tizo in the second spot, is looking at a Brazen Manor, Celestial Spike, quick throwing Jody. Then Web Lanthorn Messenger him, the last spot for Core. Here we go. Core wins the Orb Race. Trying to banish one of Anor's exiles here, but instead settles for the plunge here for 20. That means no Barker in this round. It's a numbers advantage to Anor, especially when Bertrand is banished. And Core defenseless for the next couple of seconds here. Anor through the portal, and it is a super-powered portal, giving Jody infinite stamina, and snuck in a Brazen Manor there, but didn't quite have enough time or space to make it all the way to the opposing Pyre. Meanwhile, look at where Core's portal is. It is very close to Nor's Pyre, but Anor knows that and is trying to have it covered here. Core looking for the portal, but gets blocked. And oh, look at now. That portal position is right on top of Anor's Pyre to the point where if Core is to get the orb back and make it through his portal, it may very well be an automatic score. So very risky territory for Anor here because Core does have the orb back. She'll try to keep someone standing on top of that portal, ready to block.
I can't see, Liz.
Core can't find the portal.
This is your fault, Liz.
This is not my fault. I did not make the game of Pyre.
Yeah, but you...
There it is. For the 30 damage plunge. Vanishing throw. Believe Anor did get the Brazen Manor off on Jody. Has the infinite stamina for a little bit here, but doesn't quite have enough room. Barker tries to banish, but can't quite do so. Anor with a nutritionistic plunge for 25. 4. Attacking with Barker. Banishes 1. Picks up the orb, though, and plunges here for 20, dropping an orb back down to 30. An orb places the sapling in the middle and retrieves the orb. Perhaps looking to set up Jody here. Gets the portal in place. Oh, but no time or space for Jody to get that Brazen Manor off. And now, however, might be some time for Nor to set up this throw. And from some ranges, sap throws are unblockable. That may have been the case here, as she gets in the full 25. Parker. Nor has it back here with Jody. Jody may look to set up the Brazen Manor after going through the portal, or may settle for just the infinite stamina, because that will give her the full 30 damage on that throw. And now that means one more score, maybe all that Anor needs here. Kor does have the possibility of getting 30 damage from his Crone. However, I think oh no, we actually didn't see Anor take any rekindling. I believe she went all left side on Volfred, and therefore both players capable of finishing this. So for Kor, it does need to be a specific character, and that was not it. But it does now mean that any of Kor's characters at this stage do have enough damage. Anor setting up that infinite stamina demon. Here comes Jody. Full speed ahead, but that's not enough to make it past the defender. Or not enough time with his Crone, I should say. Nor through her portal. Infinite stamina demon once again. Which way is she gonna go? Takes one way, goes the other. Oh, tries to banish the defender, but it misses the mark. Kor has it back here. Has a fairly dangerous portal. Goes through it now. That throw is unblockable. Does it have enough on it? It does, but Anor does have rekindling. Oh, did she take Right Light for 20 rekindling? It looked like she did. Volfred. Hip hopping around Tokyo City like a big playground. Jody through her portal, infinite stamina. Oh, what was it that took her out there? Gertrude, not enough time to get the throw off. Nor through her portal does take her right next to one of Kor's defenders, but eludes them thus far, and there is a sap nutrition stick plunge, dropping Kor down to 5, and next score for either player would likely win it. Who will it be? Anor is down one character here after plunging with Volfred. So advantage Kor in that sense, and there could have been the winning score, but big banishment there. Numbing Gust will slow Kor down. Will that be enough for Nor to get someone back? Well, Kor leapfrogs over the defender in for the winning plunge.
Good game.
GG.
But we gotta keep it in because it's fun.
All right, well, let's head on back.
It actually makes Explosive Temper and Infernal Bloom have a use.
Was this the thing that banished Anor in that time where I said it wasn't clear what it was that did the banishing?
Yeah, it's like it's a lock-on bug. So like if I kill someone, so if I'm casting either Explosive Temper or Infernal Bloom, and then you lock onto someone else while right before it's about to kill them, it will kill them, and then the aura burst will target the person you're locking onto.
Oh, that's weird.
And so it basically gives, in my mind, the Cur a global presence, because I can kill her imp next to her Pyre, and then I lock onto the demon that was about to score. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That does sound pretty sus. Not gonna lie. I mean, I see that it's useful, yes, but that doesn't mean that it should be allowed. If that, it does seem like that is kind of manipulating a bug.
No one's picking it, so.
Alright, did we just have someone disconnect? If so...
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure if that was intentional or not, but it sounds like it was not, so let me get Anor back here. Okay, let's reset ourselves here, but let us know, chat, if there's anything that we would like for the next one. We will tell TariqBot to leave the stage. Sorry, TariqBot. I'm afraid it do have to be like that. It do have to be like that. Let us know if there's any other song we'd like to replace that one with.
Okay.
I was gonna say, there are some similar bugs that did have some use cases, but were deliberately
that was
removed.
Just broken. There's a difference. There's definitely a difference.
Maybe it's not quite as bad as the exploding
No, it's not
sapling
broken.
bug, but
The difference is if we kept in the nuke, people would just be playing that. This is already in and no one's playing it. So what does that say?
I mean, it doesn't mean it should be allowed. Problem with this one is it's non-locality. Not entirely sure what you mean there, Pyre. No matter where you are, no matter where you are, you can banish all across the map,
Okay.
which does not seem like that should be allowed.
But you can avoid it by being in the air.
Yeah, but I think the offender here is the person who's doing something that you're not supposed to be allowed to do in the first place. The onus should be on the person who's not supposed to be doing that, not the person who could theoretically prevent the person who's doing the wrong thing from benefiting from doing the wrong thing. Everything else you can have a set. Yeah, right. Compare that to, like, having extra casting distance on a talisman, like Solium's Horn, which is so that you have more ability to banish from anywhere in the arena, but it's still not capable of banishing any and everyone guaranteed, whereas this kinda can be.
But except exploding saplings are technically global because you can place it next to your pyre, and
Yeah, I was not familiar with this bug, I don't think.
does it work with lock on? I thought that
We
tried it.
fixed a fell swoop bug that was like that. There was one for fell swoop, but I believe we fixed that.
Well, was it lock on related? I guess.
I think it was. Where if you locked on with fell swoop, you didn't actually need to be in range of the person with the aura burst, you could still banish them. So fell swoop was ridiculously OP for that. I mean, it's still really strong, but it basically meant you didn't even need to properly be in range with fell swoop, you could still take people out. I'm pretty sure I remember that we fixed that one a while ago at this point, probably about a year ago.
And is Vengeful Vow a lock on one? Did we fix that one? I'm not sure.
I don't know about that one. I remember we did something with fell swoop. I don't remember doing something with Vengeful Vow, though. But I think it was Phaler who addressed the fell swoop bug. So he would probably know more about it than I would.
Right. Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So we'll maybe take another look at some of those things and see if there are ways to address some of them. Because I think some of them do warrant addressing. But
I'm not opposed to getting rid of it. I'm just.
I mean, I see that there are ways in which it is not completely game-breakingly bad, but it still seems like it's not something that should be in the game.
Mean, if you compare it to like Infinite Worms, it's like. I don't know. There's definitely. I think there's more broken stuff in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Alright, well, I mean, anyways, let us proceed here. And let us know, chat, if there's anything else that you'd like to see for the next one. We are happy to make it happen. Nothing set up just yet.
But I do like banishing throw curs.
Wisty. What? What is that? What is this talk of manly? Alright, well, not seeing anything from chat here. So why don't we just hop straight into this next one then?
The Beyonders.
Okay, and it is the Nest of Trieste.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And Anor does go Nutrition Stick Volfred once again here in the first spot. Core. Goes Banishing Throw Barker in the first spot. Anor with the Rekindling. Once again, this is looking quite similar. Exploding Gilman for the second spot for Core. And Anor quick throwing Brazen Manor Jody with Celestial Spike. Finally, Webland Thorn Messenger Imp for Core. Alright, here we go. Similar setup for both players compared to the previous matchup we had. Core hops over the lava, but banishes the Imp. Jody banishes one. Back to Volfred. Volfred over the other side, but he goes down. 4. Barker. Barker's throw. Oh, saw an aura there. Thought he was going to banish someone, but no, that was the Sapling's aura. Does still follow it in for a 20 damage plunge, though. Down goes Volfred. It means Gilman has Seize Chance active, which would have given him extra damage, but he does not make it in here. Jody. Down she goes, but Volfred returns. Anor. Oh, look at that range on the cast. Enough to take him out. And Jody returns, but not quickly enough to stop Core's 19 damage throw here. He could go above 15 because he did have Seize Chance active. Jody down. And Barker still causing some trouble here. Core follows it up with his worm. And that lands for 15. Collision in the middle. Brings Volfred down. Here's Tizo. Retreats to the corner. Has Jody back now. And now Volfred. Jody banishes one defender, banishes a second defender. So that makes time and space for this 30 damage throw here. Volfred first the orb. The other side of the Pyre for a quick throw for 8. Volfred again. This time he's downed. Banishing throw gets rid of Anor's Imp. 4 can't follow it in though. Anor, thinking about the portal, goes through it, gets infinite stamina when doing so. But the orb is loose. 4 has it back, but that throw looks off target. Jody, she's cut off. That leaves just Volfred back defensively. But his exploding sapling causing Core some issues here. There's a stunning claim, making Core have the only exile capable of moving, but Anor was well positioned. Still able to stop that score. Oh, and Jody can't quite avoid Messenger Imp. Throw from Core looks short. Volfred goes straight on in with a Nutrition Stick plunge. That drops Core down to 37 Pyre life. Jody banished. Barker banished. Tizo for an ore. Locked. Gets rid of Gilman. Might have bought just enough time, yes, for Jody's return. Thinking about the portal. Hops through it. That gives her infinite stamina. She speeds ahead, but doesn't have enough time or space to get past Barker. Barker, thinking about going to Banishing Throw, but instead sticks with it. But he's banished, as is Messenger Imp. But Honora's defenseless here, triggers her Numbing Gust, slowing Core down and buying enough time for Jody to return. Or into the lava he goes. Once again, a stunning claim. Honora actually avoided getting affected by it by flying with her Imp. Jody banishes one. No longer the infinite stamina. And down goes Jody. Honora this time through her portal for infinite stamina with her Imp. May not necessarily be what she wanted, but it does move her portal closer to Core's Pyre, which does make Jody a little more dangerous when she goes through it. Such as on this occasion. And look at that throw. Threads the needle there for 28 damage, not quite the maximum, but it does mean that now any of Honora's characters do have enough damage to finish the job. Here's Jody. She's down. Does Tizo now. Tizo making some moves. But now it's Volfred after Tizo gets banished. Volfred, thinking about it, but he is banished.
United in banishment.
Honora defenseless for the next few seconds, but Numbing Gust will slow Core down. Jody's the first back defensively, knocks away Barker, and has the orb back. Barker banished. Here's Jody. Wants to go through the portal, but Core has it covered. And so settles for Volfred here. Goes to the other side of the Pyre, but he's banished before he can finish the throw. Four. With Barker. Banishing throw. Still causing some trouble here. Gets the rebound. And follows it in for 20. That means no Barker for this round. For even with a Seize Chance active on Gilman, still does not have enough damage. Not to mention Honora did take some rekindling from a Talisman. So she will have a second life bar. The same I do not believe can be said of Core, which means one more score may be all that Honora needs, and that may have been an opportunity. Here comes Jody though, and that will finish the job. GG.
Perhaps a stroke of fortune ought to be thanked. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
Alright, and let us know, chat, if there's anything you want to see for the next one.
I want to do 2 more, and then I'm good to switch out if anyone wants to play.
Alright, so heads up, chat. If there is anyone who's looking to get in soon, or we're looking to swap out in the relatively near future, and then Cacao can take Core's place, awesome. Same timetable for Nora as well. Okay, so then that means Wisty can take Nora's place. Perfect. Okay, so that means we're probably looking at about 2 more between these 2 players, and after that we'll switch over to Wisty plus Cacao. So is there anything we'd like to see between Core and Honora here? Pitamalith. A good arena for several different things. We'll have to see if that is something that either player will pursue here. Anything that we want in addition to the arena, though. Okay, well, I mean, that's fitting. It does make sense to go Dread design here. Anything on top of that? Doesn't look like it. So why don't we get this one started then?
The Beyonders shall now face the Pyre Hearts. Welcome.
So up to you to take whatever exiles, masteries, or talismans you'd like. And an ore starts with a quick throwing stowaway, which is something that is very capable of several different memes in this arena, so we'll have to see if that is something that an ore looks to do. As core goes, pretty simple, straightforward, power casting Snadra in the first spot. Then Webbed Lanthorn Tizo for an ore. Quick throwing Manly for core. Then banishing throws on Almer in the last spot for an ore. And then exploding Gilman in the last spot for core. Alright, Nor teleports the orb and goes for the wall bouncing throw and nails it on the first attempt. Alright, we're in business here. Anor goes for it again, 2 for 2. Surely not a third time. Almer, off the wall, super pinball effect, but does not get the banishment, does not get the score, at least not this time. Or looks like he might be going for the hip-hop and nomad shield strats. At least showed a glimpse of that momentarily, but he throws it in for 12 with his worm. Stowaway, retreats, throws, just short and intercepted. Snadra, there is the shield. And core speeds in for another 12. Stowaway. Around Snadra and off the wall. And takes out Snadra, but the stowaway goes down as well. Well shielded from core. Goes down the second time though. This time it's Almer. And he can banish with those throws, but he gets banished instead. Big explosions there, but Anor back with the orb now. With Almer. Banishes Snadra. Through the portal. Now with the stowaway. Almer again. Looked like he might have been going for the wall bouncing jump. Potentially for the score there, but he gets stopped. And the stowaway goes down to the exploding sapling, but down goes Manly. Banishing throw from Almer takes out Snadra. He retreats. Perhaps waiting for reinforcements, now starting to make a move, but he does go down. Snadra. Shielded, but still banished. Well cast, but a valiant return. Gets Gilman back with the orb here. He waits for a stunning claim to make Snadra the only exile capable of moving. Big power cast, but she does still go down. Returns quickly. Gets it back, but she's still banished. Or the orb stuck in the corner there right next to Nor's portal. Oftentimes hard to get the orb in those circumstances, but oh, look at that, well shielded from core. Opportunity here, with the quick throw from Manly, set up a 25 damage score. Stowaway. Now Almer. Oh, look at this, going for the wall bouncing jump, but not this time. Stowaway. Off the wall. Oh, not quite. The angle just slightly off. Big banishments, but the valiant return once again gets Gilman back with the orb. Hides within the safety of the sapling, then makes his move, sets up the stunning claim for Snadra to be the only moving exile. Except, same with the Nor. Tizo was able to move as well. Stowaway off the wall, that one. The trajectory looked good, but Snadra was there positionally to save it. Big banishments. Almer gets rid of one defender. Gets rid of the second defender. Teleports to the orb, but gets banished by the third. Stowaway now. She goes down. 4. Banished with Gilman. Snadra gets rid of 2 defenders. Nor has it back. Eyeing that portal, goes through it. Might just be looking to move that portal a little bit closer. I think she did. Well, look at that. Trying to teleport to the orb whenever it's near Core's Pyre, but now she's defenseless. And that's not just 20 damage, that's also 10 leech for Core on that Snatcher throw. Stowaway. Oh, not quite that time. Core with Manly. Manly gets sniped. Stowaway. Oh, was looking to set up the teleportation, but not so lucky that time. Snadra jumps in for 20, leeches 10, drops an ore, down to just 11. Stowaway, thinking about it. Angle's not quite right. Goes the straightforward approach that time, but this time it's intercepted. Manly, sniped. Almer back to the orb. Gets rid of Manly, and then follows it in for the 20 damage plunge here, but as we were saying, Snadra had done a fair bit of leeching. Sakura still up at 60 Pyre life. Stowaway causing some serious trouble here. She goes down. No Almer in this round for Nor as he plunged without prayer beads. So that means it's either Stowaway plus Tizo, or if the Stowaway gets aggressive, at times just Tizo. And Core plunges for the win.
Good game.
GG.
Scribes themselves surely have taken note. The rite is done.
Well played, you two. Let's head on back. Your country won 3v3 World Championships for basketball. Well done. Don't know if I remember what country you're from. You don't have to say, but
I mean, it's not gonna be that hard to do.
it's not gonna be that hard, obviously. If someone wants to Google it, they can figure it out now. But I'm trying to think of who's on your team then. Was it? Is it like pros, players, like people who are in the NBA and in Euro leagues who are playing, or is it more like, I was going to say Olympic style, but in basketball, sometimes even the pros play in the Olympics as well. Not bad for a 7 million person country? Absolutely not. Yeah, like, do you... Like, I mean, if you have pros on the team, then I might know some of the players on your team. But if it's amateurs or, you know, like semi-pros, then I probably don't. But anyways, let us know, chat, if there's anything that you'd like to see for the next one. And I think this, based on what we were hearing before, might be the last one between Core and Anor. Pepe laughed, he definitely didn't see the fact that Core put additional 10 Pyre Life on him. I saw. Saw that too. You can't sneak that past me. Yeah, let's not talk about that though. All right, not seeing anything else from chat request-wise. In which case, I suppose we'll get this one started here. We're pretty good at Rocket League, though. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know who the leading experts in Rocket League are. I'll be honest, to me, Rocket League never appealed to me. Because, I hate to break it to you, it's basically soccer.
Who shall conduct the rite?
In which case, I'd rather just watch or play soccer, or play video games for soccer. But hey, that's just me. Whoa, Lids, it's cars, okay? It's totally different. It's totally different.
Where do I go, Liz? What do you want to see?
I want to see the 17th Exile use the 23rd Talisman. Or for European audiences, football. You'd be surprised some things that you can do in soccer. You say you can't wave dash. I mean, look at some of the stuff that Cristiano Ronaldo can do, or Messi can do, and, you know, there might be some equivalents.
Rupert? Who's Rupert?
I was a little confused there. It's like, did I miss something?
Are you telling me, or are you saying you're gonna do that?
Or is that, that might have been, what did I say, 17th Exile with 23rd Talisman?
Oh.
You counted it. It was totally random, the numbers on both of those things. And, I mean, that actually does kind of make sense, which is kind of cool. It's, not complete nonsense. I was half expecting when I said it for it to be, you know, legendary talisman on somebody who wasn't going to be able to equip it, but hey, turns out it's prayer beads. Turns out it's on a character that I actually usually put prayer beads on. So yes. Oh, is it slightly different? What was it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per row. 6, 12, 18, I forget what number I had said anyway. So, counting the talismans doesn't mean much if I don't remember what number I'm counting to. 29? I don't know. You don't have to take it. I don't even remember what I said, but if you feel so inclined, of course, you are welcome to. Oh, is that a quick throwing Palmas there from Anor?
I don't. I'm gonna lose, Liz.
19th Exile and 20 whateverth Talisman. I mean, see, the thing is, in soccer, there's a move called the Rainbow, which does involve you deliberately moving the ball, flicking the ball in the air over the opponent's head, and then running past them. There are nutmegs, there are scorpion kicks, scissor kicks, bicycle kicks, all these different things that, I kind of think that Rocket League is just like a silly takeoff on soccer for people who slash football, for people who don't understand the nuance of soccer slash football. And they're like, oh my goodness, what is this amazing sport that I've never seen or heard of before? It has a bunch of strategy that I could have never possibly imagined. Oh wait, it's almost entirely a ripoff of this most popular sport in the world that I just didn't know anything about. And in truth, many of the same appeals that exist in soccer slash football are also in Rocket League, but I actually pay attention to Rocket League because it's a video game that doesn't appear to have any relation at all to a sport, even though it does. Welcome, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Anyways, back to Pyre. That is a very, very speedy harp. Core, back on the orb here with the stowaway. Room to work with here, although it does end up back in, well, the sapling. But then again, this is, of course, a bottled void false step stowaway, so that is in many ways what Core is trying to do here, to trigger that bottled void, sucking in any neighboring egg cells like a vacuum cleaner whenever he comes back from banishment. And with false step, comes back from banishment if he gets banished at the end of a jump. That's Snadra, though, so it doesn't work for her. She goes down. Titan Tooth will stun Core. Nor, with a little bit of time here, switches into her sap, goes the other side, and throws it in quickly for 5. Lovely, it's PSA moments. Look, guys, I'm just saying, Rocket League is kind of silly in the context of the fact that it is basically a ripoff of the most popular sport in the world.
How very fortunate for the Pyre hearts. My.
Quick throw is intercepted. Throw is blocked. Anor has it back. Switches in, and that throw may be unblockable from that range. Adaptation is a fairer way to refer to it, yes. I'm critical of Rocket League, in case that wasn't clear. I just think it is wildly overrated for those reasons. There's the false step. Stowaway. Running all over the place. Does eventually banish the defender and just hop straight in. Quick throw. And it's a dangerous one at that. The full 25. Drops Core down to 16. Says the guy playing NBA Jam Magic Edition. Well, there is the winning score. This is much more different than soccer or basketball compared to Rocket League versus football/soccer. Much more adaptations made here. But let's head on back. And I think we were saying that was going to be the last one between Core and Anor. So thank you two for stopping by. Good to have you. As always. Yeah, that's fair, Wisty. That's totally fair. To me, it's just like, it is almost exactly the same as soccer/football, except it's not called that, and so suddenly it makes an appearance, and it becomes wildly popular, and it feels like, okay, it's not like this is some new and like, breakthrough development here. It's not like this is some, incredibly creative new gameplay mechanics that people have come. No, it's like an incredibly popular sport that is almost identical, and then somehow for some reason it's getting praised as this breakthrough game when it in truth is almost purely just a repeat of existing mechanics from an existing game. So I just think for that reason, is it a good game? Yes, I'm sure it is. Is it wildly overrated? I still think it is, because it's like, okay, it's basically the same thing. But anyways, I think we were saying we were going to get in, was it Cacao and Wisty for our next matchup, if I'm not mistaken, if you two are still interested and available. Does that work for you too? Cacao has requested being player 2. How dare you? Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Let me send out the invites here. Let's see. How invite sent. Where's Wisty? Sounds like that is the name of a game. Where is Waldo? Where is Wisty? Steam. Where is Wisty? Steam. Don't be like this. Yeah, that may be the case. Wissy, are you on Steam right now? Or is Steam just being weird and wonky and uncooperative right now? Is this a Steam problem? No, there you are. Okay. There we go. There you are. Okay. So let me also give Cacao controls because that is a Steam problem. Cacao, I think usually you use a slightly different control setup relative to a Noor, right? So we should probably take a look here. Okay, there we go. And what triumvirates are we thinking for you two today? Let's see. Get your names in. Oh, that might be a thing. That you, for all I know, you may have been talking to me for the past like 5 minutes, and I just did not know that because that may in fact be the case. That is I would not even say that's a non-zero chance. I would say that is a very high chance that that is in fact the case. All right, let me double check. I imagine you are probably you are correct about that. You are in fact correct about that. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. Hello, Wisty.
Hello.
What triumvirate would you like to be?
Beyonders is fine.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cacao, accusers, something else? What are you feeling? What are we going for today? Accusers? Okay, let me take you off. Fire hearts, let me put you on. Accusers. There we go. Okay, awesome. So, let us know, chat, if there's anything that we would like to have between these two. If so, then of course we can make that happen, but it is going to be their first match of the night, so we could give them a chance to warm up, or we could just go straight into the absolute, complete, and utter chaos. That's also an option. We could just do that. It is up to you. It is, of course, up to you. Yeah, like that's, I mean, talking about the comparisons between some video games and professional IRL sports. Like, Pyre most often gets compared to basketball. Personally, I actually think it's closer to hockey than it is basketball. But,
Yes.
Then
Yes,
again...
it is definitely closer to hockey.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only person who thinks that. But, then again, I'm not really sure how much overlap there is between, like, how many people who play and enjoy Pyre actually watch basketball or watch hockey. I think there might be more hockey enjoyers out there in chat than there are basketball people, because I may know one or two who are.
I can confirm.
But yeah, like, despite this being oftentimes considered wizard basketball, I'm not really sure how many people who enjoy Pyre then turn around and start following basketball more closely. I just don't get the sense that that's really the case, even if there may be some overlap there. Okay. Resonance theme? Huh? Oh, preset. I was like, what is the present theme? I'm confused. Okay, I gotcha. Alright, so we have a song. No worries, Cacao. It took me a minute, but I gotcha. I was like, this stance is a weapon against the present tense? What? Okay. That's the only thing I'm seeing at the moment, so why don't we get this one started then? Bonus points for anyone who understood that reference. Oh, did we? I forget if this was our most... No, this was not our most recent location. We were here recently, but not most recently, I don't think. Pretty sure we reset that. So your selections are up to you. No requests regarding those, so you can take whatever exiles, masteries, or talismans you would like here. There is, of course, a lot of meme potential on the pit, as I do like to mention. I am a fan, of course, of the wall bouncing throws and jumps. it can get rather spectacular. So you got me. You know what? I'm biased.
Exile.
But hey. It's entertaining stuff. So Wisty started off with the Gilman. And then in the second spot, going with a Prayer Beads Bertrude. So that means that... it also took the Crone's Loot, so she can transform all the opposing characters into Defenseless Howlers once. And then for the second one, on Cacao's side, we have seen Cacao on several occasions go Prayer Beads on a Sap. It sounds crazy, but Cacao has, when setting up this strategy, found more often than not ways to make it work. Then Wisty with a Meta Jody here. Quick throwing, banishing throws with Celestial Spike. And oh, could this be a double sap setup from Cacao? Full rekindling and nutrition stick. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A bold strategy. But here we are in our first showdown between Wisty and Cacao today. Wisty banishes one. Cacao has it back, though. Luminous Idol will give full stamina back to that harp when she picks up the orb. But she's banished, actually switched into Palmas, and he gets banished. Wisty going around the other way, but still gets banished. Oh, and Cacao was elusive there, but Wisty's still up to the task defensively. Moving in with Bertrude here. Tries to leap over, but slightly wide of the target. Cacao hops over the defender. Switches in, but still banished. Jody has it back. Banishes the harp. Off the wall and would have banished the sap if it were still there. But it's a sapling now instead. Bertrude banishes one. Has the orb back here, but gets blocked. Lands in the sapling, goes down. Zoxiana retreats. Blocked. But has it back. Blocked again. Now Wisty has it recovered, but gets pushed into the other defender. Snipe there from Jody. Oh, and there's the switch with the Harp Salute. Setting up this quick 8 damage throw for Cacao. That was our first score of the game. Defensive showdown at the very beginning there. But Cacao follows up with another precisely 8 damage throw once again. And was trying to switch into a blinking sap. Probably the Prayer Beads one. To more safely plunge, but not quite successful that time. Wisty over one defender, but gets pushed into the other defender once again. Switch. Point blank throw. This time it's 7. So Cacao whittling away, but not making that large of a dent in Wisty's Pyre life just yet. There is the switch. Cacao, oh, perhaps got a little bit greedy there. Waiting on the Pyre doorstep. Might have been waiting to charge up a throw. There is Wisty. Plunging for 30 now. And that was Bertrude, and Bertrude had Prayer Bead, so she has returned. Here she is. Oh, was going for a repeat there, but this time she's blocked. Almost. Back to Zoxiana, who switches in. Almost once again, but he is banished. Now, so is Zoxiana. Jody for Wisty. Banishing throws does get rid of the only defender. So opportunity here for Jody to throw this one in uncontested for 30. Sometimes it feels like there are only 2 ways to play, the way of the sap and the way of the worm. Name a more iconic duo than Cacao and 8 damage sap throws. Well, here comes Wisty plunging once again with Bertrude for a big 30 damage score. And Bertrude has returned, so that is who Wisty wants to plunge with. It's a good execution there. Jody. Oh, the sapling actually with a triple banishment? It does bring back Gilman with his valiant return, though. Otherwise, Wisty could have been defenseless there. And perhaps waiting for the reinforcements as Jody returns. Though the throw lands, and well, that is a whole lot of rekindling on the second life bar from Cacao. So this one, as it turns out, is far from over. Cacao, back with the saps. Wisty just barely sidesteps that banishment, but does eventually go down. Cacao on the counter. Looking to switch into a sap. Wisty is unfazed. Wisty with Bertrude over to Jody. Jody, off the wall and does not hit with the banishing throw for that reason. Cacao, nifty little maneuver there. Finds a little bit of room for a 12 damage throw this time. Cacao continuing to take the patient approach here. Perhaps knew that with all that rekindling and additional Pyre life, was able to just go the War of Attrition route. Whittle away at the opposing Pyre life. Not needing anything too big. Nothing too dramatic. Because of that Pyre life advantage. But here's Wisty. Jody goes down. Soxiana switches in, and the sap that switched in, Palmas, is banished. Soxiana again. Switches into the other sap. But can't get the throw off. Wisty, the throw from the worm is short. Bertrude down. Jody back defensively against Soxiana. Soxiana switches into the sap. Sap is trying to shield off Jody, but Wisty says, absolutely not. I will not allow it. Gilman finds an opening, explodes, getting rid of many of the defenders. Oh, but that sapling bounces back and hits two of Wisty's characters. Make it 3. But Gilman returns. Explodes on 1, although, Jody comes back, perhaps just in time. No, not quickly enough to stop this time a 7 damage throw from one of Cacao's saps. Bertrude. Can't quite make it in. Soxiana. Uses her allied sap as a sacrifice to the defender. But it still does not work. Wisty, here's an opening. Does get blocked, but still gets the throw off in time for 9. Remember, this is, of course, Cacao's second life bar. After we already saw the rekindling, and it was the full 100. Wisty with Bertrude. Gilman instead now. Back to Bertrude. Bertrude, a little bit of an opening. Quick throw. Just 8. Gilman sacrifices himself. Bertrude bounces off the wall with perhaps more speed than Wisty had anticipated. Jody. Fast bounces off the sapling and hits her. That means just Gilman here until Bertrude returns. Here she is. But look at this opening! Which Wisty seizes. With a speedy Gilman plunge. No prayer beads on him, though. So Wisty does prefer to score with Bertrude, not only because of the extra damage, but also because of that prayer beads. Wisty defenseless here, that means. It's time for Cacao, and can plunge straight in. That is, I would assume, Cacao's prayer bead sap, because remember we were talking earlier about how Cacao did do that. It's mostly been plunges up to this point with the saps, but not that time. And speaking of plunges, that's the nifty maneuver that I think Cacao is looking for. Get into plunging range with the harp, switch into the sap, and go in for the blink. Hold it off quickly there, but attempted once again. Did not work that time round. Soxiana. Looking to get into that plunging blink distance range, but Cacao says, no, that's not exactly what I was looking for. And Wisty putting the pressure on. Gilman speeding through once again. And he nearly found open. Did he get the throw off? He did. 9. That means Wisty now needs 2 scores, but Cacao only needs 1. And there it is.
Good
GG.
game.
Such a well-conducted victory it was.
Well played.
The right
That was very interesting to see the totally opposite approach that you both took there. Wisty went big bursts of damage, and Cacao went the slow, patient War of Attrition route. Call this Attack of the Saps. Alright, Iroder is selecting exiles here. Finally, Core says not the only one playing Worms first. We'll see what everyone has in mind. Harp, Cur, Worm, in any order. That 100 rekindling, as soon as you saw that, it was like, oh man, this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, hold on. Somebody, I think, disconnected there.
I disconnected.
That was Wisty? Okay. Let me get you back. There we go.
You.
Okay, so again, that is Harp, Cur, Worm, any order you'd like. Anything else we would like in addition to those exiles here? Harp, Cur, Worm, any order. Looks like that's every. Oh no, hold on, I spoke too soon. No masteries. Oh man. Now that throws a monkey wrench into things. No masteries at all fundamentally changes the way that those exiles will work. 0 masteries on a harp, 0 masteries on a cur, 0 masteries on a worm. Okay. Alright then. Why don't we get this one started? That could be difficult. Then again, of course, the downsides for one player, the opponent is experiencing the same thing as well. So it is still a level playing field. It's the Glade of Liu. Remember, we have a modded one that will not spawn in any brambles. No masteries, but they will, of course, still be able to select their talismans here. Harp, Cur, Worm, any order you'd like. And knowing that they don't have those masteries probably does significantly change which talismans they might have been considering as well. Wisty goes for a Banishing Talisman with the Worm. Interesting choice there. Definitely not something we would tend to see, but then again, as we were just saying, without access to masteries, then that might be part of the reason behind it. Okay, Cacao leads off with the Cur instead, and goes for the throwing damage, which is honestly, it's a strong talisman, but for some reason just always seems to not quite get the respect it deserves. Wisty does stick with Prayer Beads. Of course, that's good in any circumstance. Puts that on a Cur. Then goes for the chance of getting a quicker respawn there, coming back from banishment on the Harp. Also one we tend not to see that often, but good to see players getting a little creative here, as the circumstances are certainly out of the ordinary. Wisty takes the legendary Triesta's Plume on Pamitha, so when Pamitha is flying when she plunges in, she'll get 5 extra damage and a 50% chance of coming back from banishment as if she had Prayer Beads. So that is a very Prayer Beads plunge-centric type of setup for Wisty then. And also legendary talisman for Cacao, the extra jumping distance from Aura's Scale on the Worm. Unblockable throw from Wisty, although it's slightly short. Oh, look at that series of banishments. It's Cacao who emerges, Wisty intercepts, but that throw is far short. And now Cacao on the counter. That throw. And remember, we did see Cacao take the extra throwing damage, so that was a quick throw, but still got up to 14. Cacao theoretically should be able to get up to 23 with that Cur for max damage. Cacao tries to speed through with Lady River, but she gets banished. Harps take each other out. But it is a Harp plunge here for Cacao for 20. Ooh, nearly a 180 cast there from Rookie on Cacao's side. Switches over to the Worm. Throw does have enough. And it's the full 15. Twisty blocked before they can get the throw. Cacao trying to return the favor here, but that's wide. Twisty now. Panther over one defender. Wants to be flying when plunging, and seeing that they had no stamina, Twisty opted to go the throwing route with Panther. Less damage, yes, but of course means Panther is in for this round, and here she is. But when possible, Twisty wants to try to fly in and be unfazed by the 720-ing Harp on the opposing side. Well, that is easier said than done, as Zaxiana is on the orb here. Gets blocked. Has it back. Avoids one defender. But cannot make it in. Mooncrest does make her return quickly, though. Rookie banished. Lady River banished. Zaxiana back on it and has just enough space. No, she does not. Twisty able to cut off. Panther. No, it's Rookie. Out of stamina, though. Oh, actually, he somehow banished the defender, and so was still standing there next to the Pyre, received the pass, and had a free walk into the get the score. Did not see that one coming. Twisty loses Panther. Rookie, not this time. Just Lady River back to defend, and there's enough room for Cacao to get an 8 damage throw in here. That is apparently Cacao's favorite number. Oh, and look at that snipe from Rookie for Cacao. Hops over the defender. There's the extra damage on the throw, but Twisty does just enough to prevent that from going in. Twisty's Rookie. Blocked. Retreats. And Cacao has it back. Worm throw. No. Not this time. Twisty. Rookie. No stamina. Retreats. Back to Panther. Worm time. Worm time indeed. 9 damage on this throw. Down goes Lady River. But Panther still has it for Twisty. Down she goes. Now Rookie. He's banished as well. Twisty defenseless here for the next second. Just barely gets Lady River in time to intercept that throw. Now Rookie returns. He intercepts. And now it's Twisty on the counterattack. Rookie one side, Panther the other. Panther goes down, though, as does Rookie, and suddenly the tables have turned. Twisty avoids one defender, goes for the throw, and it does land. It's 10 this time. Lady River gets rid of it, and goes down. Rookie for Cacao. Twisty able to intercept just barely. Rookie or Panther, which will it be? The answer is apparently both. Remember, Twisty trying to go in while flying with Panther. Somehow avoids banishment there, gets rid of both the defenders. Oh, and was that? That was not quite flying. You saw the brief little moment of airtime. But 20 damage, not 25, and no chance of coming back from banishment. Although Twisty does... Oh, that's a plunge? For 15? Looked an awful lot like a throw. But maybe it was a throw that was slightly short that Twisty proceeded to catch and immediately follow up with a plunge. Might have been how that played out. Zaxiana for Cacao. Blocked and banished. Rookie for Twisty hops over one defender and makes it in here for 15 damage and had prayer beads. So Rookie will return. Twisty still at full strength. Panther gets rid of one defender. Has the orb back. Goes down. Cacao with Rookie. Lady River. Throw. Good for the full 15. And Twisty does have enough damage to finish this one with one score. Same cannot be said of Cacao. Wisty, in fact, it does not matter which character it is. So that means that will do.
Good game.
GG.
They somehow managed to scrape by despite their adversaries' efforts. The rite is ended.
Well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything that you'd like to see for the next one. Okay, Cacao says Isle of Kalamer. Sure thing. So we have the arena. Is there anything else that we would like for the next one? I'm not sure if we've had Isle of Kalamer yet today. Have we? We may not have. Oh yes, and let's put Masteries back on. Unless, of course, it's something we want to put back off. 4 is choosing Exiles. Imps banned on the Isle of Kalamer? Oh, controversial decision right there from Core. Controversial decision. But it has been said. It has been decreed. Anything else? Wisty is choosing Exiles. Oh. Oh, and East Titan Stars. East Lock, okay. Okay, fair enough. Yes, that would make Cacao smarter. Harps also banned. No flying over the imps. Gotcha. No flying allowed. Triple hopping curs. Sweat nervously.
Okay, so what does Easlock do if it's not computer player?
So it will give Cacao an extra brain cell, is how it works. Final Expense is the song. Let's turn off the, let's turn it on TariqBot, then we'll turn off the in-game music. Let's see. I think we can just go straight into it here. TariqBot should understand, right? But there are multiple versions of this, right, though, aren't there? Payback. Oh, okay, hold on. I don't think this is the right version yet. In that case, I may need to go to the Bandcamp roots. 1 second. Let's see. Here it is. This is the one we want. Okay, hold on. Slightly different version. Slightly different version. This is the one we want. Okay, nice. Now let's turn off the in-game music. Okay. Anything else? iRotor, please do not try to recruit people to the side of the Titan that shall not be named. That's your last warning, iRotor. All right, let's get started though. Okay, so Yeastlock it is. Let's get started. It is, of course, Isle of Kalamer. However, no imps allowed, and no harps allowed either. What? 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 I'm not sure if anyone's paying taxes in the downside, to be honest. That might be one of the reasons why some people are in the downside to begin with. Is tax evasion. Like, where are the taxes going to in the downside? Look, Lids, they gotta get some money to fund the Scribes Gate. That stuff doesn't run itself. That's actually why the Cycles of the Stars had stopped. That taxpayer revenue, man, just wasn't enough to sustain the process. They had to call it quits. Anyways, that's a Prayer Beads Bertrude. We saw Cacao lead off with Lendl, usually one of, if not Cacao's, most often taken characters, and I'm not sure we've seen Cacao take him yet today. This might be the first appearance for him. He's, of course, the captain of Cacao's team. Then it's an exploding Gilman in the second spot for Cacao. We saw Wisty lead off with a worm. From the second spot, as we said. And that's a meta, quick throwing, banishing throws, Jody. Oh, and what do we have here? That's a Bottled Void on Headwood. So let the chaos commence. Wisty explodes. But Cacao does have the means to bring allied troops back from banishment. Like so. Including the one that has Bottled Void, which will of course cause some additional chaos. So Wisty had a crone just hanging out next to Cacao's Pyre there. Character was blocked, but the throw was not. So that lands for 8. Watching closely, but still very confused about what's happening. The basics are both players trying to get the orb. When they have the orb, they can get it all the way to the opposing fire, like so. They can deal damage to it either by throwing it or plunging straight on in with the orb. When they deal damage, the number goes down. When the number reaches 0, that player loses. So you're trying to damage your opponent until their Pyre reaches 0. Everything else is just a means to make that happen. They can try to take out the opposing characters to create some more time and space for them. They can pass it to their teammates. They can throw the orb, or they can try to jump in directly. And a few other more niche abilities here or there that may be specific to some characters. Things that raise damage or lower damage. For the most part, the bigger, slower characters deal more damage when they make it into the Pyre, whereas the quicker characters tend to be worth less damage when they make it in, because it is theoretically easier to do so. Jody sniped by Headwind, but there's a valiant return from Gilman. He does somehow get that throw off for 9. Gilman playing cat and mouse here with Lendl, and once again he's blocked with throw. Oh no, the throw is slightly short there. Cow able to recover it. Headwind blocked, but has it back now. Wants to bring back a friend and does, but loses Headwind. Headwind blocked. Both Headwind and Lendl banished. Gal with just one defender, then again brings back both of his nomads in quick succession. And is hanging out on top of Wisty's Pyre, but still proceeds to get banished. Wisty has to be quick here. Goes for a quick 9-point throw with the crone. I am just play-by-play casting right now, exactly. Right now it is the two names you see up here. Wisty playing on the left side as the Beyonders, and Cacao playing on the right side as the Accusers. So occasionally I'll pop in if we don't have anyone from chat who wants to participate, but for the most part, we're looking to get as many people from chat in as we can in any given day. And there is Wisty plunging in for the win.
Good game.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right, well played, you two. Let's head on back. That was an Isle of Kalamer, no harp, no imp match. But let us know if there's anything that we'd like to do for the next one. Oh, also, how could I forget? Of course, also Yeastlock. But I believe it is time for us to usher TariqBot off stage, like so. There we are. Turn the in-game music back on real quick here. Okay. Anything that we would like for the next one, chat? What are we thinking? Knights of the Sea. Good idea. We have the song. Anything on top of that? Yeah, no worries, Cheddar. And thanks to everybody in chat helping out with those explanations and whatnot. So is there anything else we want for this one? All we have is a song right now. Is that all we want? It might be. Blade of Lou, okay. That can be arranged. Oh. Is this actually a Titan Stars request and that you actually want us to... Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, it sounded like that was more of a... This is breaking the mold a little bit type of request. Pick fast stuff, iRotor says. Cacao's like, what the heck do you mean? So, just to clarify, iRotor, you mean things like fast exiles, fast talismans, but with some room for interpretation as to how exactly the players want to make that happen? Is that sort of the idea? Like worms, crones, curs, probably. Continuous movements. No teleports. Okay. So no imps. Oh, but that means no infinite stamina. Oh, you could still go rings on demons and get infinite stamina for a little bit, which is certainly fast. What other stuff is quick? I mean, if you put Tailwind Crest on almost anyone, they can become fairly quick. Yeah, does that rule out Harp Salutes as well? Yeah, the first thing I thought of when iRotor said that was no portals from imps. But maybe he was thinking more Harp Salute. Stuff that runs, flies, dashes fast, but no blinks, portals, or salute teleports. Okay. You are just speed demons. And by that I mean not specifically demons, but exiles that are fast. That might have been the worst possible metaphor I could have used. Be creative. Alright, be creative. Find a way to be fast with just your normal movement speed rather than teleporting or blinking or saluting to teleport and things like that. Other than that, room for some creativity here. Room for interpretation. You are the Beyonders Olympic team. You are participating in the Olympic trials right now. You need to prove to the world that you are fast enough.
I mean, I guess I have to do this. I feel like this talisman would be... The question is, do I want to maximize my individual speed, or do I want to maximize my overall speed?
Do you have one superstar speedster, or do you mix it across your entire team? There is another speedy talisman, I might mention. There is another speedy talisman. Technically, there's more than one, but there is one that is just straightforward quickness.
Are you referring to the bands?
I'm not referring to the bands, however, that is also an option. That's a small little quickness boost, but more significant is probably the infinite stamina there. But that's something you could consider. There's obviously Tailwind Crest. There's also the Lunar Glass. Lunar Glass is what I'm referring to, yeah. Which is the purple one that is middle, slightly right. That.
Thank you.
Which technically, the way that that scaling works, I'll give you the inside info. The way that that scaling works, because it's 10% increased movement speed, the Lunar Glass is efficient on characters that are already quick. It is not as efficient on characters that start out slow. As 10% of a small number is not a big increase. 10% of a large number is a big increase. And there are even diminishing returns on quickness in terms of the number you see, the stat directly. So like a 25 quickness character getting 5 extra quickness is not that much of an incremental speed boost.
Okay, I have one question. Is the Lunar Glass 20% applied before or after the greater celerity?
That is a good question that I don't know the answer to. I don't know if anyone in chat does.
I'm gonna assume no and put the Lunar Glass on Gilman.
Sir Gilman.
Core says he thinks after. Iroda says probably after, but I'm not sure we've ever tested it definitively.
Oh.
Oh,
No
also you
harps.
can't take harps. That's true.
Okay. I was thinking it was just no.
Wait, were harps not allowed? We said no.
I was thinking it was just no teleporting harps.
No blinks, portal, salute. No saluting harps. But I think you can take a normal harp as long as you don't salute. Yeah, as long as you don't take the salute, you could still do harp. And left side harp is pretty quick. Just as long as you don't salute. And that first mastery on the right side actually does give you quickness as well, so that does make sense. Yeah, so Lunar Glass you want to put on a character that is already fast. Whereas Tailwind Crest is more efficient on a character that starts out a little bit slower. Technically speaking, if you're metagaming a bit. The tricky thing is, of course, if any of the players want to use one of the rings, they need to commit soon, because in order to get the infinite stamina from the rings, which is the big bonus from them, you need to have both used, one on one exile, the other on another exile. So it's impossible to go Tailwind Crest, Lunar Glass, and still get the infinite stamina on the rings. Technically still getting a small quickness buff from the rings, but it is not that dramatic.
I'll go rings.
I think one person... Oh yeah, the Wisty started to put Tailwind Crest on a harp, I think. I mean, I guess Vital Paths, you could maybe make the case, is kinda, sorta, a way to be a little bit quicker. Yeah, Wisty says they're gonna go the ring route. But as we were saying, both players initially did not take one of the rings. And that means Wisty is now presumably all in on the rings for the last character as well, whereas Cacao needs to decide, is it Lunar Glass territory plus something else in the third spot? Or is Cacao also going to go double ring here? And Cacao does go Tailwind Crest plus Lunar Glass, so that means presumably no rings for Cacao. I mean, could still take a ring on the third exile and just not bother with the infinite stamina. But we'll see. Headwind, not the most natural of speedsters. And of course, the tough part now is Cal is a little more hard-pressed to find a way to increase the speed at this stage, after using the best quickness talismans already. Does have ways to get additional stamina with the Nomads, which indirectly, kinda, sorta, makes the team faster. Well, I can think of something. It would be quite quick, but might be a little bit too late of an addition at this stage.
What do you
Can
think?
Cacao take Nomads? I think that's ultimately an iRotor decision, as iRotor is the one who made the request. Are Nomads quick enough? Do they make the cut? I mean, they're middle of the pack with just about every stat. As long as it's fast overall. Remember, no teleportation if you are going to take a Savage. And the web feed is an interesting choice there. I think that does functionally serve as a way to, at least relative to the opposing players, make the stowaway seem quicker. And Luminous Idol as well, getting full stamina when the stowaway picks up the orb, is perhaps another way of just sprinting more often. So here is what should be a speedy match. Cow, knocked over to the side and banished. Wisty speeds full speed ahead, and throws this one in for 13. Collision in the middle. And orb remains unclaimed. But now Wisty has it back, and has some time here to speed on in for 20 on this plunge. Wisty gets the stamina back, gets the throw off, and ooh, just short. Cow's still able to get it. And counter here for 20 damage on that plunge. Wisty makes it in. 20 damage on that Tamitha plunge. Look at the speed on that worm. Oh my goodness. Oh, not enough time for Wisty on the throw there. That worm is dynamite!
You can't control it.
It's too fast! Too fast, too furious, confirmed. Bertrude, blocked. Has it back, though. Feels like Wisty might deliberately not be sprinting because all of the characters are so fast. But there is Cacao, throwing it in for 20. You see, we have a need for speed. Wisty banishes 2 there with the worm, but then gets banished. Rookie bursts ahead, waiting to get the stamina back, not quickly enough. Bertrude, she's fast as well. But she goes down. That's a stowaway rush down, as well as Pamitha. Rookie. Poor Cacao hiding in the corner there, but does manage to snipe and get the orb to a teammate. Stowaway, shut down. Rookie has it back though. Waits for the stamina. Avoids one defender, gets the triple hop going. and has just enough momentum to make it into the Pyre there. That worm is so fast. One more score, all that Wisty needs here. Cow needs 2, in all likelihood. Bertrand down. Tamitha. She's banished. Opportunity, perhaps, for Cacao here. So fast. Sprints right past the Pyre. Does land the 15 damage throw, though. Does mean that, actually, Cacao still needs 2 scores. And there is the winning plunge from Wisty. GG. So what do we say? Was that fast enough?
Good game.
The rite is complete.
At a certain point, it's so fast, you just can't even comprehend it. I feel like we needed one character on both teams that was either normal speed or slower than usual, just to see the juxtaposition of the unbelievably fast worms right next to a plodding demon. Just to further emphasize how ridiculously fast those worms were. Okay, Cacao says Path to Glory. Let's reset our other stuff, though. Let us know if there's anything else we'd like to see in particular, though. Cacao calling on the team theme. Customize off, says Wisty. Okay, randomize exiles, masteries, and talismans in that case. Won't even get to see what they are in advance. We're just gonna get thrown straight into the action. And Core is putting us at the ridge for a even more of a home field advantage here for Cacao. Then again, with customize turned off, I don't know, is Pyre gonna triple down on that home field advantage or try to level the playing field a bit here and give Wisty a stronger team? Only time will tell. That covers everything. So let's hop in. Alright, so what will we get here? For Wisty, it's 2 worms and a nomad. It's 2 demons and a harp for Cacao, so very different team compositions here. Wisty starts out with a 12 damage throw. Cacao got a little bit of additional starting life from one of those demons. They're both normal demons, no Orlex to be seen here. Last second save there from Wisty, although Cacao back at it. Throw is slightly short though, but follows up with a plunge for 30. That was Vizpaleth, now she's gone for this round. No prayer beads on her. Double banishment from Wisty, and that is huge. That means no defenders back. 20 damage and 10 leech for Wisty. That tells us a lot about that Nomad. All the way down on the left side for Headwind means he definitely has either the power casting or shoulder smash, possibly even both. Oh, and the Harp Salute switches in for a Demon Plunge here for the extra 10 damage. Nifty play there from Cacao. Not sure if Cacao knew that he had that ability, but took a gamble, and it did pay off. Ametha might look to do the same thing here. There's the switch. But there's the shoulder smash from Headwind, as we anticipated we might see. And it pays off there for Wisty. And Cacao defenseless, and as we previously established, Headwind not only has the 20 damage, has the 10 leech. So that's a net 30-point score there. Wisty, pinned, but did get a pass off. Valiant return. And, oh, speeds it. Leech there as well. Wisty with a full-blown leech team here. 50% leech on a character that can only deal 15 damage. Maybe not the optimal setup for the leeching, but Wisty will take it. There's the shoulder smash. Especially good against flying characters, of course. Infernal Bloom, we just found out, on Jody. Not sure how much use Cacao is realistically going to get from that. Oh, someone disconnect or have another issue here? Or was that an accidental pause? Accidental pause? You all good, Cacao?
Still here.
Wisty's still good. Cacao, are you good? See something strange. That doesn't sound good. If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call, Cacao? Worm talent on... What? Worm talent on demon. Not sure which one you're referring to, but it does sound odd.
Can you show us? What's the talent? What?
Hold on, shall we pause and converse, or are we good to go? I mean, is it maybe a talisman that's serving that same function? Could it be the Web Lanthorn? Bring an exile back when you banish someone? That is functionally the same effect as one of the Worm Masteries, but in the form of a talisman, so if one of your demons has that. Avenging Aid, I think Wisty had it. We did see Wisty's worm come back with Avenging Aid. Oh wait, no, Avenging Aid or Valiant Return? No, that was Valiant Return. Wait, Avenging Aid? Avenging Aid is...
I think I have Avenging Aid.
Avenging Aid is the one that is the same effect as Web Lanthorn, bringing an allied exile back when you banish someone on the opposite team. And if you have Web Lanthorn, then that is the same effect. So it might have just been Web Lanthorn doing that. But if you saw the words Avenging Aid, then that might have been just maybe an exile right next to your exile. It was actually Wisty's worm. So it looked like it was you triggering it, but it was in fact Wisty. I'm guessing that's what it was. Okay, no worries, no worries. I'll give you guys a countdown here. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go, we'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go.
Didn't see it coming.
Oh, but Cacao had set up the banishment there on the cast. Wisty may not get anyone back quickly enough to stop that. So it's 30 damage on that throw.
Best not given to pride just yet, accusers.
Edwin. Of course, we know that Wisty can leech with 2 characters, in fact. And, well, 30 damage on that plunge means 1 score is all that Cacao needs here, unless Wisty does a lot of leeching. Jody. Does she have Brazen Manor? She does not, it would seem. Not that Cacao needs the extra damage, but here comes Edwin. He's cut off, though. That is, of course, the exile that ideally Wisty would like to score with. That's a little bit of leech. 8 damage and 4 leech, but that's probably not enough to be playing much of a factor here for Wisty, as still remains the case that 1 score from Cacao would likely finish the job here. Here come the demons. One of them banishes the defender, and the other one knocks back the other defender and plunges for the win.
The accusers prevail.
GG.
Their adversaries must be rather shaken after that. The ceremony is complete.
Strange anyway. I mean, that's a customized off match for you, though. You never quite know what you're going to find yourself doing.
Right.
Now, I think it was probably one of Wisty's exiles right next to yours, Cacao, and it looked like it was yours triggering it, but it was actually Wisty's. Wisty offering to sub out if anyone would like to hop in here. Anyone in chat who has not yet played today would like to do so? I mean, are you good to stick around, Wisty, or do you like need to go?
Yeah, if there's no one else around, I can keep playing. I'm just throwing it out there because I don't know who else is in chat.
Okay. In that case, yeah, if there is anyone in chat who is still interested in getting involved today, let us know. Wisty is volunteering to swap out. If not, it sounds like we can still continue with these two facing off against each other. And if so, then let us know if there's anything that you guys would like to see for the next one. Let's, at the very least, reset ourselves here. No. Not unless you have invented a cloning machine, in which case I have some other things I'd like to talk to you about. Not seeing anyone from chat saying they're interested in jumping in here, so I think we may be looking at continuing this matchup here between Wisty and Cacao. So let us know if there is anything we'd like to see between these two in that case. No, Cacao will not be facing against himself. We have not yet mastered the art of cloning technology. Still a work in process, I'm afraid. And seeing no other requests from chat, we might just have both players take whatever they'd like to take here. So I suppose we'll get started. Sounds like the fall of Solium, because it is.
Take on the accusers. Welcome.
And no requests, so you are welcome to take whatever you'd like here. Wisty goes range throw on Stowaway. And then Lendl in the first spot for Cacao, as we were saying before, one of, if not Cacao's, #1 exiles, and the captain of Cacao's team. And we were talking about the Lunar Glass before. It is a talisman that so rarely sees play, although technically speaking, it is more effective than the Tailwind Crest, I believe, at least when it is used on a worm. There may not be any other exile that benefits from it more than they would from a Tailwind Crest, besides those worms. That being said, Wisty has another absolute need for speed here. Do not blink, or those worms will be gone. And Cacao also goes the speedy route with a worm. So here we go for what could end up being a little bit of a rematch of the speedy variety. Of course, slightly different setups this time around, but at least some very quick worms, if nothing else. Here is Lendl, and he makes it in for 20 damage here. Now, he did not have prayer beads, so he's out for this round. That means numbers advantage to Wisty. But Cacao intercepts, and Cacao with a lot of room here with Lady River. Out of stamina, and that throw looks short. It is. Orb inadvertently hits Wisty's Pyre and bounces out, but here's Wisty on the counterattack. Thinking about going for the throw with the Stowaway. Banishes the defender, although the Valiant return brings someone back for Cacao. Then again, they get banished as well. So Wisty still has the opportunity to throw this one in with the Stowaway. Stowaway teleports to the orb and has that throwing range, and Wisty is testing it out there, seeing if they might be able to catch Cacao off guard. But here is Cacao, and he's the one flunching here for 15. Wisty again with the Stowaway. Oh, walks back into that cast from Headwind, or rather from Lendl. Gilman speeds ahead. Stowaway versus Lendl. Lendl down. Or bounces out and nearly went straight back to Wisty. But it is Cacao who has it now. Raji. Over to one side. And the other. just playing mind games at this point. Till eventually Lendl starts to move into the picture here. Oh, but a double banishment. Wisty is not going to fall for that nonsense. And goes for the stowaway snipe. Stowaway sidesteps. Looking to snipe again, but this time intercepted by Cacao. Cacao on the counter. When you get the stamina back, has some here. Remember, these worms are especially speedy. On both sides. Stowaway down. Wisty. With the Deluge. Tried to charge up the throw, but didn't have enough time to get it off. Cal loses Lendl. That leaves just Raji. And Raji, caught in a dangerous place here, does manage to banish the defender and get a teammate back. But if not, then that might have been a free score for Wisty. Oh, look at this portal play, though, for Lendl. Shoulder smashes the defender, no less. But he does eventually go down before he can make it in for the score. Wisty loses one worm. Cacao through the portal. Gets infinite stamina upon doing so, but gets blocked. Now Wisty's turn. When the throw this time does have enough on it for a 9 damage. Stowaway. Intercepted by Lendl. And over to Lady River. Fakes one way, goes the other, freeing up just enough room to land this 11 damage throw. Deluge, locked, banished. That brings back Lendl. A duel between Lendl and Gilman. Eventually, Lendl does go down. Worm versus worm. And Cacao wins that duel. And that does bring Lendl back. But Wisty has it once again. Stowaway. She's banished. Cacao has his full team back, so I'm not entirely sure what he's waiting for here. And now it's just at Lady River. Wisty. Free orb now, which Cacao recovers. Has that portal set up, which does take him about halfway across the arena. Moved there, but roughly the same distance. Wisty blocked. Wisty banished. Cow uses the portal once again. Sidesteps the cast. Trying to speed through and might have done just enough to get that 12 damage throw in here. Stowaway. Looking for the angle and finds it. For 4 on that throw. That means we are nearly tied here. Stowaway. Deluge, back to the Stowaway. Stowaway snipe is intercept. And Almer, or rather, Lendl. Lendl playing a little keep away back and forth, but does eventually go down. Lady River just barely avoids the banishment there. Gives it up to a teammate and receives it back. But goes down before she can do anything with it. Stowaway. Stowaway one side, Gilman the other. One, maybe the decoy, the other, the real attacker, and the Stowaway is the one with the throw, but that's intercepted. Raji. Back to Lendl, back to Raji. Moving in fairly aggressively here now, even if this attack is unsuccessful. Look at where that portal is. It's quite dangerous. And so Wisty may need to keep an exile stationed there to protect it. And therefore moves in with the worms on the attack, and one goes down. The other gets shoulder smash, but does finish the throw. It's slightly short, though. That's not going to land for any damage. Cow, the portal gets moved back a little bit and is not quite as dangerous as it once was. But Cacao sees a different opening and goes for a 10 damage throw here. Stowaway. Throw intercepted. Lendl. Blocked. Back to Lendl. Raji one way, Lendl the other. Lendl down, though. Raji, we saw previously Cacao do this to set up a dangerous portal. It is fairly dangerous there. But Wisty has it stationed. But while Cacao has Wisty committed to covering that portal, perhaps Cacao can sneak in another way. Which is, I believe, what we saw Cacao do a little bit earlier. Maybe that's the plan. Lendl avoids banishment that time, has it back, and somehow, some way, finds his way into the Pyre there for 20. In fact, not just 20, I believe Lendl also had 10 leech there. So a net 30-point plunge. And now at this point, one score may be all that Cacao needs. No Lendl after he plunged, but that won't matter here.
Good game.
Because that will seal the deal.
Accusers prevail. 'Twas the will of the 8 scribes which kept their flame alive.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Alright, let's head on back. Well played, you two.
Till the stars align.
That was a very patient game on both sides. Feels like oftentimes we've seen between these two very defensive matches. But let us know, chat, if there's anything that we would like to see between these two for the next one. Not seeing anything at the moment, in which case, of course, we can just have them take whatever they'd like to take. Barring any last-minute requests here. Cacao just can't play aggressively. But you had... I mean, usually saps are not very aggressive characters to play with, but a little earlier today, you were doing that harp plus sap setup, where you sprinted forward pretty aggressively with your harps and then used the harp salute to switch into a sap, and then try to have that sap plunge straight in immediately afterward. That was reasonably aggressive. The cow disagrees. But yeah, most of the time saps are, of course, mostly for defense. But hey, that's part of the whole thing. Personal preferences, do you prioritize the defense, the offense? All comes down to the exiles, masteries, and talismans you choose, and how you choose to play with those exiles, masteries, and talismans. Can you carve out some offense with what is more naturally a defensive team, or maybe vice versa? Not seeing anything from chat here, though, so why don't we get the next one started? Yeah, counterattacks can definitely be very effective, especially when you can banish numerous of your opponent's characters. If that means they have no one back to defend, then it could be a free score if you're quick enough on that counter. Take 100 rekindling, what do you mean? True, fair enough. Well, we're back on the Isle of Kalimur here, no requests, so you can take whatever you'd like. And Wisty is going offensively here with a plunging Prayer Beads Bertrude. Yeah, Cacao is about those patient games, but then again, well, we might see a little more of that here. As Cacao takes 10 rekindling there, but goes with the sap. Nutrition stick sap. Maybe not the most defensive of sap setups, but still, a sap is a sap. And seeing a bit of the opposite here from Wisty, as Crones tend to be more offensive characters, although we did see Wisty go all the way down on the left side that time for the Stubborn Flame, which means whenever Cacao is in the lead, Cacao will deal 10 less damage, so that is a defensive mastery there. Cacao doubles down on the saps, though, so big time defense from Cacao. First exile for Wisty was definitely offensive. Second one, a little bit of a mixture of both offense and defense. But are we going to see something like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object? Because that might be what we're in store for here.
Well, demon.
As Wisty goes with a meta Vids Palette there, quick banishing throws. And it's a third sap. A quick throwing Bullfred. Wow. Serious commitment to the defense here from Cacao. Again, I don't think we saw the maximum rekindling. I mean, if he did choose to go that route, we would have seen 150 rekindling on the second life bar, which would be insane. But not this time. Still going to be hard to break through this defense, though, for Wisty, as Cacao can quite literally build a wall of saplings. And look for the counterattack here. Does have the quick throw on one of the saps, and does have the larger blinking distance with another sap. And that is the quick throw there, and from some ranges, that throw is unblockable. However, offense is, of course, usually the thing that is most difficult with the saps, so this is very much a defense over offense type of setup for Cacao. And Wisty defenseless for the moment, but is Cacao quick enough with all these saps to seize in that opportunity? It looks like the answer may be no. Cacao also mindful of where placing those saplings, try to lock down the orb, make it harder for Wisty to get the orb. Banishing saplings, or exploding saplings as well. Wisty defenseless. But the throw is short. And Wisty gets a crone back. There's the exploding saplings once again. And there's the quick throws. Not the full damage. Oh, actually, 15 there. Likely triggering because of that Stubborn Flame we were talking about before. If Cacao is in the lead, Cacao will deal 10 less damage because of one of the masteries on one of Wisty's crones. So that was the defensive mastery we were referring to previously that we saw Wisty take. So it is playing a factor here. That one technically was still below the maximum, as Cacao would be capping out at 15 damage here. But Cacao very aggressive on the exploding saplings, trying to banish the entirety of Wisty's team, and has done so on several occasions here, helping to set up more straightforward throwing scores. And Wisty, oh, got an exile back, but from some ranges, as we've said, those sap throws can be unblockable. That may have been the case there, and it was also not quite the full damage that time. So Wisty holding on with 19 here. If Stubborn Flame were not on, then that would mean that Cacao would have enough damage to finish the job with one score. However, because Cacao is still in the lead, that is not the case. Cacao caps out at 15 damage in this instance, which means he would need 2. This throw is intercepted. Wisty cornered a bit here. Goes to the other crone, who hops in for 30 damage. Orb remains unclaimed in the middle, but both players focusing primarily on the banishments here. I think that might be the first time anyone had touched the orb in this round. Nearly a minute in. Wisty, though, stopped short. Goaty banishes. We saw a numbing gust, it seems, on one of Cacao's saps, which means if every sap is banished, every character is banished, on Cacao's side, then Wisty will be unable to sprint, jump, throw, or use any other special abilities, which will slow Wisty down, and in that case, was enough to prevent Wisty from getting a free score. Also the case here, for the next few seconds, slowing Wisty down and giving Cacao enough time to recover. Exploding saplings once again. Cacao using them aggressively, pursuing all of Wisty's characters and banishing all of them, at least until Camilda returns here. Oh, and nearly intercepted the throw, but not quite. It was once again slightly less than the maximum, but it drops Wisty down to 5 Pyre life, which does mean that Cacao is now capable of finishing this with 1 score, and this could be it. Wisty defenseless here. Oh, goes for the 360. You hate to see it. You just hate to see it. But GG.
Outperformed their adversaries. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played. Let's head on back, and that was a relentless sapling explosion match. I mean, you just don't see the triple saps, let alone the super exploding sapling triple saps all that often. Splatoon-looking match, exactly. That was supposed to be a much slower match. Well, hey, like I said, you know, Cacao, you were saying earlier that maybe the saps weren't that aggressive. I think it depends on how you play them. I think it depends a bit on how you play them.
Yeah, that is the most aggressive sap player I've ever seen.
Exactly, see? Just because it's a sap does not inherently mean that it is not aggressive. If you're sprinting, if you're blinking up to everybody and throwing exploding saps right next to all their exiles as soon as they spawn in, that's pretty aggressive. Alright, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. And in fact, I think it's getting late enough that this might be our penultimate rite here. Our second to last rite, and therefore the last one in which we will take requests before we do our liberation rite. So if there is anything that you really want to see between these two, then this is the time to make it happen. And Wissy says, oh, say no more, Lids. Say no more. It is time to turn Customize off once again for randomized Exiles Masteries and Talismans. We could still do a specific arena and or song, if that's of interest. Nor is proud of the Sap plays. Team Sap. Lament of Orpheus. Okay. Is there more than one version of that song? I forget. It is a Streakbot song, but maybe let's get it going first. And Boat Underworld Remix. Okay, I thought there was more than one version to it. Let's see. So, get the boat. Let me make sure that I get the right version of this one. Let's see. Lament of Orpheus Underworld Mix. This one. This one here. There we go. Oh, that is... Whoops. There we go. Okay. We have the song, we have the arena, and Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans. Who knows? Let's turn off the in-game music, so it's not competing with Streakbot. And then we are ready to get this one started. So let's go. Alright, what are we gonna get here, chat? What do we think? What are we expecting? Are we gonna see entirely demons on the boat from Customize off? Maybe. It's possible. It is Nomad, Cur, missed the last one, and Harp for Wisty. A demon, a Cur, and a Crone for Cacao. Here's Ignarius. He has Brazen Manor. Extra damage if Cacao can score quickly, but that is not the case here. Wisty with Headwind. Dalbert, just enough to avoid banishment there, as he plunges for 20. Cow had the orb momentarily there, but then proceeded to get banished. Gertrude for Cacao. Banished there. But Cacao defenseless momentarily. Did not have prayer beads on Dalbert when he plunged, so he's out for this round permanently. Tamitha. Banished. Edwin. Ruki. Back to Edwin. Oh, he's shoulder smash. No, he does the shoulder smashing. Okay, so that tells us a bit about Hedwin. He's at least somewhat left side. There's a Brazen Manor on Iggy. If he scores quickly, he gets extra damage. And Cacao may be trying to get the big slam dunk here. That might be the plan. Brazen Manor is up. Oh, but not the jumping range she's looking for, though. Wisty has someone positioned, ready to try to block it. But nonetheless, Cacao does make it in, although not quite quick enough to do it when that Brazen Manor was still active. So only 30 damage, not the potential 40 in that case. Ruki sneaks past. Glory Dive means he has a little bit of extra damage to 20. So at least slightly right side on Ruki. Didn't catch exactly how many jumps we'd seen him use. Dalbert is back for Cacao. He's down, though. There's the Brazen Manor on Iggy. He's looking for the big jump, you can just tell. Oh, and this time, he does get the Brazen Manor. It's 40 damage. Huge. One more score, potentially all the Cacao needs. Then again, who knows? Maybe someone has a RITE Light. The 20 Rekindling Talisman is possible. It could be. Especially since we haven't seen much in the way of confirmation of talismans yet. Which is oftentimes can be a sign of RITE Light. Because it only shows its face once someone drops down to 0. There's Astral Eye, though. That's extra damage at the cost of reduced hope. And so that means 28 on that plunge from Wisty on Tamitha. But Tamitha is now gone for this round. And just Ruki back defensively right now, which is not really a sight that Wisty wants to see. And there is the winning plunge. GG. All right. Well played. It's raining demons. Hallelujah. Full left side Iggy, we think? Yeah, I mean, if he had Brazen Manor, he's primarily left side. Okay, so, with that being said, that, I believe, means it is just about time. Let's get Tariqbot out of here. Tariqbot, we don't need you for our liberation rites. Not anymore, at least. Once upon a time, maybe. Pero nada más. Okay. Let's turn back on the in-game music. And it is time. Didn't have stamina recovery? Okay, so we can pretty much confirm in that case that he was full left side. But chat, it is time. It is time for none other than our final rite of the night, our liberation rite, Fall of Solium, sermon intro on, and we usually go the never to return version of whoever player 2 is. So in this case, that would mean the accusers. And no request to this one. We will have both players take their preferred teams. Let's turn customize back on. That's probably a good idea. That is probably a good idea. And let us get started.
Greetings, exiles. You are gathered at the Fall of Solium. You have this opportunity to prove your worth. Prevail and step closer to freedom. Beyonders, stand prepared. Accusers, stand prepared.
Alright, so as I said, this will be our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. Wisty on the left, representing the Beyonders. The cow on the right, representing the accusers. No requests, they'll take their preferred teams here to finish things off in style. Speaking of style, we have not had enough Gareth sightings yet today. Wisty Crone's loot will allow them to transform all of Cacaw's exiles into defenseless howlers once during this rite. An exploding deluge in the second spot there for Cacao. Then final choice here for Wisty. And that will be a meta quick throwing banishing throws Jody. Last one for Cacao. Will be Web Lanthorn and an extra Pyre life on Vids. And here we go, our final run of the night. Between Wisty on the left representing the Beyonders and Cacao on the right representing the Accusers. Best of luck to you both.
force of will behind that thrust. Into the adversary's face. That was the last of them.
Good game.
And there it is. GG.
Their adversaries they defeated utterly.
Well played, you two.
The liberation rite.
And that was our Liberation Rite, our final rite of the night. Well done, Gareth. Glorious. From him, of
Great
course.
games. Thanks for playing.
GG's. Thanks for stopping by, everybody who participated today. Thank you, everybody who gave us the requests as well in chat. As I said, that was our Liberation Rite, our final rite of the night. So I'm going to duck out of Discord, but I will see you guys next week. All right. Let's free them from Steam Remote Play, first of all. They have been freed. Then, hold on, chat. I'm not done with you just yet. That was, as I said, our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. But, thank you, everybody who participated in the rites today. Thank you, everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. That was Pyre Community Rite Night, which, of course, we are doing every Sunday, for those of you who are interested. And, the best way to get more involved in all this stuff is, if you'd like to, do some multiplayer Pyre yourself, join the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights, and the general schedule is nowadays Friday nights. We are doing Darkest Dungeon, including characters named from people in chat, and we have several people named from people who are hanging out in chat right now. So that's been a fun little adventure there. And then on Saturdays we're doing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Then on Sundays is of course Rite Night. This. Then on YouTube, Lids Vids there as well, posting the VODs for all of those streams, as well as doing some videos for Gwent, the Witcher-themed card game. Big announcement for that. For the first time ever, I'm super excited about this. There's a Gwent expansion coming out next week, and I'm doing the reveal for one of the new cards. I think you guys are going to like it a lot, so I'm looking forward to that. That is this Friday, specifically, but outside of that even, doing the usual new events every week. So lots of stuff to do in the Gwent world, as well as some Thronebreaker, which is the Gwent campaign, videos for that as well. Also, finished Transistor a few weeks ago, and we're still posting the VODs for that playthrough on YouTube as well. I think that's just about everything on the YouTube side of things. But of course, if you haven't done so yet already, you can also hit the follow button to get a notification when I'm live. Just follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I post every when I'm live as well. But the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.